going to give you a quick demo of our CTN Network website, ctnnetwork.net. Join our community. It is free. You just type in ctnnetwork.net, and this is the homepage right here. And if you want to create an account, you would just click up here and create new account right here. Sign up with your email, or you can sign up with just clicking on Facebook or Google. So you can sign up with your Facebook account or your Gmail. So I'm already signed up, so I'm going to click in Gmail right here, and it's going to log me in. And as you can see, this is our homepage. Click on creators right here, and this shows you all the CTN family members that are content creators. Everybody is on here. If you want to go to one of their YouTube channels, for example, if you want to go to Crypto Talk Now, just click on channel, and it takes you right over to the YouTube channel for that particular creator. And you click on community. This is our community right here. We do have a forum, and this is a forum where you can post things, you can interact with one another. And there's also a blog right over here that we post our own content on. And if you click on CTN Studios, you can watch our live show and other content creators' live shows right through this CTN Studios. We do have advertisements for some of the content creators. There's the Crypto Smith, there's Waddy, the Crypto Hunter, and we also have live charts for the ISOs right in this box right here. We have a feature where you click on the heart if you want to donate to us. You can donate with Ethereum or Binance, BNB. And also, if you click on this button right here, we're going to have a call-in feature, which is already live. If you want to call us, just click on the green icon, the green phone icon, and click on Call Now. And during the show, between 9:15 and 10, when we announce it, when Max is on or when I'm on with Max, we will start accepting phone calls, and you guys can be live with the show. If you want to turn your video on, you can come on camera as well. So good stuff there. Now, back onto the homepage, if you click on members, you can see all the people that are members here. All these people here, like Chaka just signed up, Gills33, Miguel, all these people here are members of our community. So you guys can sign up, and then you can chat with one another. So you can either click over here, message right here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to welcome him. I'll send him a quick message, and then I can click enter or just a little arrow. If you want to message somebody else, you can click on message, or you can go right over here into members chat and go ahead and message them and create a new chat if you want by clicking this little button right here. Now, also, if you scroll down here, you can see some of the past videos that our content creators in our content creator family have created. You can go in here and watch some of the recorded videos. They're scrolling down here. Just choose one to watch. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this brief demo. Make sure you sign up so you can interact and be part of the community when we are not on the live show.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here with you guys. Miracle I'm actually even here with you guys, to be honest. But I'll get into that later. We have in store still a lineup for you all. I'm glad to see we have a decent crowd already here waiting for the show to start. But before we kick it into the comments, how are you doing today, Sean? How's things with you?
Well, after talking to you for a second, obviously I'm a little better than you're doing. So didn't have really a terrible day. Well, you know, I had to go to work, so it wasn't a great day, I guess. But you know, still here in cold Idaho, and yeah, that's all that's going on. Trying to stay upbeat and positive.
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We're gonna headline a couple things for you guys just to give you an idea. We're not gonna make the entire show, you know, like part 3 Cypherium. We will talk about some of the issues when it comes to Cypherium. The last couple of days, some of you guys have have brought that up, obviously. So we'll definitely get into some of that. One of the other things that has been brought up quite a few times from a few of you guys, part of the community and so on, is the topic of, it's the future. What do you do when it comes to cashing out? What is that going to look like? How's it going to affect you? And how do you go about it? We'll try to tackle some of these key subjects here in a bit.
That's
So,
heavy stuff right there.
It is heavy stuff. I couldn't agree more. Before we actually start off with the first comment of the day, I actually want to recognize the super chat that I saw come through. So let's try to get through recognizing that first, and then we'll definitely start welcoming you guys, because let's face it, if you drop super chats, I mean, what's the point of dropping a super chat if somebody doesn't really kind of highlight it first? So just gonna get into that for just a brief moment, and let's see here. We're going to recognize who that is. It might be a new person from what I see here. Let's see real quick, and it comes straight from Henry Brown. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says sign up on YouTube or the website or both. Well, the answer to that question is, so it's like this, right? If you're wanting to become a just a supporter of our community and so on, obviously you can do that through the whole YouTube thing. As far as the website, that is an area in which you can basically, interact with other people. You can send me a DM. You can send other people who are part of the community a DM. Let me just show you what I mean in regards to that real quick. So, that's a perfect segue, I guess you could say, to show you guys our site. And if anything, we'll give a plug for the Crypto Smith here in a bit as well. You should be following Sean the Crypto Smith. And let me show you what I'm talking about in regards to that. And let's see. Right here is ctnnetwork.net. And basically speaking, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything as far as that goes. But yeah, what's going to happen is you can sign up with either your email. You can sign up, for instance, as I would say, the lazy way about going, right? Facebook, Google. But what's going to happen is when you do that, you click on where it says members over here. And if you're not into social media and stuff like that, you can, for instance, like I'm going to follow this person right here. This might very well be you, might be somebody else. And when I do that, I can actually message this person. So I'm going to click on that real quick. The right side comes up, and I'm just going to welcome this person. Hi and welcome. It's typo. Welcome. And so you can, send a direct message, or if you want to do the traditional Twitter route, you can. And then on top of that, we have this forum here, and I did drop some info. Might as well give you guys a brief announcement real quick. So earlier today, I did have this particular post I made in the forum in regards to HUSDC. If you guys hold a Coinbase wallet, basically speaking, you will have noticed, I should say, that you had an airdrop in regards to this thing called HUSDC. You're more than welcome to read this whole thing if you want. In the nutshell, I'll just tell you real quick. You don't want to mess with it. It's a scam. I was able to confirm that. If you haven't opened up your Coinbase wallet in a long time, there's another one from way back. It's called Looks Drop. Don't mess with that, right? So all those things are set up basically to scam you, and you don't want that. But anyway, I'm just giving you guys a heads up. And especially you, and can't thank you enough for basically dropping that super chat. Last but not least, we have other creators, and this is one of the utilities of our site. Since we're on the subject, so here's Sean the Crypto Smith. You can go over here along with other creators like Maria Anderson, even Wadi, right? But since Sean's with us, he is the co-host of Utility Talk Now for Mondays and Wednesdays, and you simply click on his channel right here. It brings you straight to his YouTube page, and it is the space Crypto Smith. Let's see if he could tick up to 1.88 on this show. That'd be super cool. But to also reiterate with you, sir, in regards to your question, here's our particular channel. I'm sure you see some of these things. Currently speaking, there's no specific perks. It's just more like recognition of you and so on. Something that Larry and I have talked about in the past is, having a thing available for maybe, you know, contacting members about exclusive things and whatnot. But it's totally up to you. And if you want to do that, I mean, that's awesome. That'd be super, super awesome, I should say, because it does go to support the channel. Here's some of the other people, not all of them listed, who support the channel. Obviously, Calvin, Stump Rider recently, Todd, aka Common Sense, but not Rich Common Sense. We have, for instance, Bull Run. Was it Lee Figueroa? Nice to see he still supports us. Blackwood. A few other avatars I haven't seen yet. Oh, that's Boomer F and Sooner with a looks like a celebrity. We also have Cody Core and so on. So I just try and give you a heads up on that's what that is. But yeah, let me just thank you again, Henry Brown. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And guys, if you haven't done so already, welcome Henry Brown. Let's start off with a few comments we have real quick. I feel like I'm dominating this conversation. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You can get all this stuff out of the way here.
Yeah. So let's see here. Boomer F Suitor says, obviously, hello to me and even you, Super Sean.
Good to see you, Boomer. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hopefully your day's going well.
More than appreciate you guys. So we're just going to recognize a few people. Going to try to like rapid fire through a lot of this stuff. Let me see. I have a different way I'm going to go about it today. See how well this works, to say the least. Give me just a second. So let me try to pull up some of this stuff real quick. All right. So basically, I'm going to rapid fire through this. You might not see your comment highlighted, but I'm going to try to go about it this way real quick. So yes, welcome again, Boomer F and Sooner. Tim Shea, really, really appreciate you being here. Sobo's here in the house. Mike says, Max, thank you. Can you speculate on what event we'll take? We'll take is from the accumulation phase to the bull phase. We will get into a little bit of these particular things. You might have come from another stream where I was talking about this earlier. I agree with another person. I think his name was James from 2-Bit stream. I agree with him that I personally feel as though we are in the accumulation phase, and then the next step is the markup phase. All right. Let's see here. But yeah, welcome Sobo once again. Really appreciate you, Brian Dowie. Good to see you. Let's see where we're at real quick. River is in the house. We see Rayan. Really appreciate Rayan. Eddie T is up in here. Thank you so much. And we got the lovely Brittany in the house. Thank you so much for being here, Brittany, on this wonderful Monday. Says they're all blurred. Now, in regards to if I come across as a blur, I want to state this. I've had nothing but like I said, it's like a miracle I'm even here. I had nothing but problems today. Today has been the most stressed out, like rudest people I've dealt with all darn day long. I went to another stream. There's a rude person. I'm not going to mention who the person is. I'm sure some people saw who that is. Just dealing with rude people all day. I mean, on top of it, make things worse, there's a really bad dust storm. And I had to have my car doors closed, the windows up, all that stuff, and wait it out. And it sucked so bad. And it knocked out my internet for a while. It was just a horrible bad day. I hate to say that. It was the pits. But anyway, I'm going to rapid fire through a few more of this. I want to welcome NV Ford-day Internet Computer. Oh yeah, ICP. Yeah, we talked about some of that. Rippler Preppers in the house. Cash Cats. Let me see here real quick before we get into a few more. Again, thank you so much for Henry Brown for the super chat. Coochie Boy, thank you again for being here. OG Larry Bird, my new Twitter icon. Wow, that looks pretty cool.
Nice.
Me's in the house.
What's up, me?
All right. I think there just might be a couple more. AZ Marine Sniper, thank you again for being here. Sean has a great content. Look at that. Yeah, he does.
Appreciate that, Tim.
All
the
right.
mayor of crypto.
Another super chat apparently came through, and it's from Henry Brown. Is it best to wait a while to see after regulations and adoption? They maybe stake some cryptos at a regulated institution. Why change into fiat if it's falling? You know what? These are great questions. We might just go ahead and start.
Great question.
start some of this right off of that. I'm just going to double check a few more comments we have. I'll leave your super chat up, give recognition to that. I'm just going to double check the other screen, make sure we're not behind too much. And let's see here. There's another super chat that came by from the same person. Thank you very much for that as well. It's also from Henry Brown. It says, just sign up to the website. The Facebook login helps. Cool stuff, man. We really appreciate that. Yeah. Crypto Holmes is also in the house. GF Burke is here. I'll just welcome a couple more people. And we got Salamander in the house. Thank you very much for being here, Salamander. Let's see here. Elizabeth Warren has her senior citizens army against crypto ready for battle. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. The president of the Army Club is Jimmy Carter. Little known facts. So here's how I remember how old Jimmy Carter is. I take my dad's age of 88 and I add 10. So that means that Jimmy Carter is 98 years old. My God.
Damn.
Yeah. That's how I remember it. I don't know how I remember that. That's just the only way I remember it. So I don't, yeah.
There you go. 90, yeah, that's old.
Yeah, I don't want to turn things political, but people, I don't know. It's just
sometimes you can't help it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think we could come to a consensus whether you're left, right, middle, whatever the heck you are, right? If you're rooting for Elizabeth Warren, then it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to understanding she's not representing our best interests. You know what I mean?
I can honestly say that out of all of the people watching this channel, watches your content, I can't imagine there is one person, not even one person, who's voting for Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see it.
That'd be like me saying, you know what? I heard that Gary Gensler is a registered independent like myself, and I need to get behind him. No, I'm not getting behind him either. Brian Dowie says, Boomer, I tried saying quant, not working. All right. And want to welcome Gigi. So we're going to kick it into our coverage. And if anything, we're going to start off. Hopefully you have something real quick for us. We're going to start things off with Cypherium, guys. We're not going to do the whole show about it. We don't want to do this like, part 3 FUD of Cypherium. It's not like that. And then we'll address and try to tackle some of these subjects in regards to it is the future and what do I do with my crypto? And, everything went to the moon, but the collapse of the dollar. These are all really good things to bring up. So I'm not trying to put Sean, the Crypto Smith, on the hot seat, but
let's do it. Let's get this seat hot. So I have a question though. So you said you were getting, maybe some comments or questions about Cypherium. What were the questions or concerns?
So basically it's like this, I don't know if it was last Friday, but it was that day that you came in the comments. You also messaged me, I think a little bit before the actual show started. And you had that breaking news bombshell. A lot of people watch your particular video in regards to that.
Yes.
And hey man, salute to you on that. I mean, you're keeping up with it. Sometimes that's what you got to do, right? To really stand out. But at the same time, maybe some people want to elaborate just a little bit more in regards to that, like your take on it. Did you end up getting out of Cypherium? Are you in a standstill with it? What are your thoughts?
So first things first, I still have my bag of Cypherium. Obviously, it is much less value now than it was before. So there's no point in me getting out right now, right? It's, to me, it's a degen play at this point, right? Just got my moon bag. We'll see what happens. If it goes back up, honestly, if it goes back up a little past where I'm into it, I'll probably dip out. But that's just me. So, and the whole crux of my video was really trying to show there's two sides, right? You had CypherX, on one side and doing his thing and he did a good job, I think, of showing like these are the kinds of things that you should be looking for if you want to do a deeper dive and if you want to really see if there's red flags out there, and he did that. And I didn't agree with all of them and I don't have to. And then I pointed out that they actually were listed on, because I know I did it actually on our show, that they were on the FedNow's website and there was a connection there. So that wasn't fake. But, and here's the other side, right? They're a real business. They're a real company, a real blockchain. They've been around since, 2018, I think. They've got patents out there. So they've been around. So we can, I think we can say that it's not a scam or a rug pull, given the term, the definition. Now, are they a good company? Me thinking, no, they're not. Right? The CEO is not a very good representation of the project. The wild claims that are being made by the community and by Sky himself do it a disservice. Right? They're creating their own FUD. Right? When you're telling people out there that you're going to be the next world reserve currency, and you have literally nothing to back that up with, that doesn't help, because number one, it doesn't sound intelligent. And number two, we all know, I think that's not going to happen. That's not the case. So, and I kind of displayed that in the video and showed you, here's the proof that they're real. And then here's, why I think it's not a very good project at this point. I think they're still building. And maybe they're going to be involved in some CBDC, although it's really hard for me, after going through all of this and being in the community Telegram. It's a cult. It's a cult over there, and that's never a good thing for a community, right? And it doesn't help the project at all. So, and that's kind of where things are. And I don't think on Cypherium's website, I don't know if anybody's gone back to their website. They did make changes, and I pointed that out in the video, right? They didn't. I thought maybe initially they changed like the phone number, but they didn't. It's the same number. I didn't call it because I don't care enough to call it. So maybe it goes to a real answering service this time. Maybe it's a little more professionally set up. They did actually add the full address on the website, and not just we work 36th Street.
Right.
And then, but the big thing that I felt was something that they didn't answer to was the fact that they took the team off of the website. So the website no longer has that team tab on it.
And just to familiarize myself real quick, Sean, not to cut you off. I mean, we're originally, like on the site. What was this?
No, go up to the top.
Okay.
All the way up to the top where the tabs are. You can't see it on yours. I think you're cut off. Go to the main page.
Okay.
Or the home page. So if you go up to so you see where it says company there?
Uh-huh.
So if you click down, can you click on that?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so that roadmap wasn't there. It said team was in its place. And that's where you got the fuzzy pictures and all the, the red flags that the other guy had that were completely legitimate red flags, right? They're questions. Right. You'd think a company such as this that is claiming to, going to be moving all the money, like some people in the XRP community started to do, that they would be a little more professional, right? They would have things a little more buttoned up, and that's just not the case. So, at the end of the day, I think not a scam, but not professional at all. And so, can I see the FedNow service working with these guys, or allowing them to be, a showcase provider or a service provider on their showcase? No, it didn't make any sense. So why did they get delisted? Right. There's been no official answer, no official word from the FedNow system, or Cypherium hasn't really stated, although he did state in the Telegram group that that the FedNow was, or the Fed was concerned about the FUD in the social media space regarding Cypherium. And so they asked them to take down any reference to FedNow on their website, and also remove them from the site. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what he said. But he also was kind of inferring that, don't worry, guys, we have this super secret partnership, with the Fed, behind the scenes, and nobody knows about, right? And I'm like, it just makes it look even worse.
That seems weird. I mean, it's
it is weird. And it's confusing, I know, for a lot of people, because for something where you can prove that it's a real blockchain, they really have patents, right? They've been around. There's articles been written about them since 2019. Why? Like, why are they doing this to themselves? So that's kind of where we stand now. I told you earlier, I reached out, or CypherX reached out to me and said, he enjoyed the video, said it was good. Obviously, and I, in that video, I I said I didn't agree with him, and I kind of showed how he was incorrect on a certain thing, and he was totally cool with it.
Right.
But then since he's taken his videos down,
Yeah,
now,
I was going to
not
mention
because
that.
of
Yeah.
me, not because of me. I actually asked him about it, and it was, I don't want to put any business out there, but I think this is probably common in this space, is he didn't want the drama, right? He's got his whole
Yeah.
program. He does a trading school. He has students and stuff. So he didn't want the drama. And I think what he was trying to do was just explain why he wasn't personally investing. And I think it really, really came out strong that Cypherium's a scam. Like that's kind of what he was, what it was inferring in the video. But he wasn't trying to just say, hey, it's a scam and a rug pull, don't invest. He was just showing people, this is why I'm not investing.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this to you like earlier today before, all the, talk about drama, the drama that happened to me today with all the crazy stuff with weather and so on. But yeah, I mean, I pointed this out to Sean earlier, guys. If you type in CPH on the search bar here, I mean, shoot, man, he had a decent amount of videos. And if anything, we've gone ahead and highlighted them for the last couple of weeks, right? In regards to that, nothing comes up. I mean, it is what it is.
I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
That's why I asked him, because I didn't want to. I mean, I was hoping, like, I wasn't trying to, piss him off, really, for lack of a better term, by showing that he had something incorrect, I think in the video, but that wasn't the case. It was just the fact that he was just getting drama from it, and he's like, I don't need the drama. There's no reason for it. So
right.
So he took it down, and I can see that. And I know, look, if you're going to put out a video where you're basically saying something you think is a scam or a rug pull, you're going to get some haters. I mean, you're going to get some drama from that. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Is there anything else you want to maybe pull up in regards to Cypherium? If not, we can kick it back into the comments for a brief bit and maybe get into the next topic or wherever you guys want.
Unfortunately, there really isn't anything else, I think, to discuss about it. That's kind of where we're at right now, right? They're saying that they're going to be back on the site. They're just waiting for the FUD to die down, which I doubt that's true, but I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. I don't really know. I'm just speculating based on what's happened. But I do think, imagine this. Imagine how serious an issue would need to be for them to be removed from the FedNow service provider showcase website.
Yeah.
Like, obviously somebody either reached out to them and said, hey, you need to take a look at this company you guys are, have on your site. Like, there's something not right here, or there's maybe too much confusion, or maybe we need to do some more, research and due diligence on this thing. And maybe that's that to me would be the most likely scenario. Somebody called or wrote an email or a letter or something and said, hey, you guys, need to look at this. And maybe they're going to take it down. They're going to do some more due diligence, and maybe it goes back up. I don't know.
I want to show you this, and you've probably seen this yourself. I'm going to pull up their CMC real quick. And guys, we'll kick it back in the comments just here in a bit. We always want to recognize you guys. So I pointed this out, I think, from the beginning, okay? And that is on the daily, right? You don't see it so much on the 7-day and so on.
Right.
I mean, obviously, this project has been hurt in regards to everything that's happened. Also, for the record, this is just me. I don't recommend you doing this, right? Because, I mean, technically speaking, this is where the whole, Luna Classic thing gets brought up, where some of you guys are saying, Cypherium Classic. I mean, I never thought in a million years we'd be saying something like that. So before I even got into Cypherium, this is something, and I'm sure you guys remember me pointing this out, all right? I always said I like it when a chart, especially on the day chart, looks healthy. And I said, there's something weird going on with this, which you can tell that, the dev or whoever the main guy, maybe it is Sky Gal, I don't know. Manipulation, what do you want to call it? When you see things like this, especially draw your attention to where I'm highlighting here. I'm sure you can see it. See the straight, almost straight horizontal line? That's something that reminds you of, like, for instance, a project that's on the fritz of going from a V1 to a V2, but in what? In a meme token, okay? You don't want to see this, typically speaking, from a healthy project that is going to, like, as Sean would say, have that FedNow connection and so on. I just, to me, this doesn't look like a normal regular chart. How do we know what a normal regular chart looks like? Well, let's just take a brief moment. This thing is always compared with XRP, obviously. let's take a moment of, looking at a healthy chart in regards to XRP. This looks all natural. You don't see anything where, Brad Garlinghouse is, got a straight horizontal line, and he, or David Schwartz is doing, you know what I mean? You don't see that. That's what I'm trying to point out. Like, there's
Yeah, I
totally
think
night and day difference.
one of the big things though for Cypherium is there's this market cap is so small, right? I mean, so it's hard to compare the chart of those two.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is number 6 overall. My God, right?
Yeah. So what causes that flat, plateau there? And maybe it's just people don't want to touch it, and so nobody does any trading, which is kind of hard to imagine. Nowhere in the world is anybody currently trading this particular token. Let's see, volume. Yeah, because their volume right now is like $82,000 in 24-hour volume. That's nothing.
Here's the thing, Sean. So even when we first were talking about this, like even before you came on the show and talking about this is a consistent thing that exists. Like even right here on the far left,
yeah,
look at that.
That is concerning.
And yeah. So I mean, it's just, even if I switch it to a market cap view, all right, well, it looks pretty much the same. Let's do trading view real quick. I guess I'll show us a little bit more of what's going on. I mean, a person could say, well, on the trading view, this looks a little bit more natural. And I would tend to agree with them. You know what I mean? Also, this is, of course, from CMC. I mean, teach his own. I mean,
but you're on the day. Yeah. Go on like a 1 hour chart or a
1 hour chart. And let's see.
4 hour chart. Yeah.
Actually, that is on the 1 hour chart. Hold on a second. Oh, my bad. There we go. See, I mean, it looks a little bit more normal, but I mean, it's just, you don't really see, I don't know. To me, you just don't really see any of this stuff really when it comes to, I don't know. I guess that looks a little bit better. I mean, just, yeah, I'm talking myself out.
I like the comment on the side over here.
What's that? On the right?
Yeah. See the Sarah, whatever that, I don't know the name of that.
Oh, yeah. Read it. Go for it.
Yeah. It's only 8% circulating supply, and they were kicked out of Fed now because CEO Sky Gao is an idiot who posts stupid comments on Twitter. Yeah. And that's I was trying to be nice. I was being nice when I said what I said, but yeah, this guy pretty much, or girl, pretty much has it. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things where, they're shooting themselves in the foot.
Jeez, that's a lot of recent comments, isn't it, huh?
Yeah. Well, I guess they saw our coverage of it.
Yeah. Well, there's this guy here. He says, to all the fudders here, I guess we're considered fudders, which I hate to be in that particular mix, right? So he says, and there's always random people. Cypherium, to all the fudders here, this coin is not a scam and has been listed on the FedNow website for the past 1 to 2 years. It was recently removed, most likely due to rumors. This has 2 patents. You have pointing out some of these things, right, in regards to patents. While it's a sleeper with no marketing, could be part of the new financial, and that's my thing, right? So for me personally, I just want to state this for record. This is something in which it's again, like I was pointing out to you guys, I feel like at this point, this is a hopium project. It's a FOMO project. There's different definitions between FOMOing into a project and doing what I'm going to probably end up doing. Like if this tanked below a penny, I will load up even that much more. Some people say that's just ridiculous. Why you're throwing your money away, right? Well, as you guys know, I really don't go the meme route. So for me, it would be more of that fear of missing out. Like, what if everybody's wrong? I'm okay with throwing out a little bit more and loading up my bag.
Yeah, and this guy's comment is spot on. This is exactly the kind of comments I like to see. He's recognizing, right, that you can see 2 sides here.
Right.
Hey, it's basically saying exactly what I'm saying. It's not a scam. They got patents. They've been around. Obviously something happened, and now the potential is still there. There still has potential to do something. We just don't know if it's going to do that, or if it's going to fizzle out, with this. But that's kind of where I'm at. Hopefully, I mean, look, I hate to see any crypto project fail. I doubt they're going to fail. I'm sure they're going to be doing something, and I'm hoping that I can that they do something so I can make some money on it. Right? I mean, that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, we all have different reasons why we're here. For me, it's all about the generational wealth. I do like some short-term plays, but nonetheless, we're going to kick it back in the comments for a little bit just to have a nice flow. Salamander says Pocahontas sucks, and he's not referring to the Disney movie, everybody.
No.
So yeah,
I can agree with that.
I agree with it too. OG Larry Bird. I mean, that's a great username. I just want to throw that out. That's just a great username. I mean, you know, I think I have to agree with this particular statement. So,
It's
you
funny.
know,
That's a good one though. I like it.
it is a good one, right? So I was watching some kind of, I don't know if it was Stephen A. Smith or somebody pointed this out. So before the era of even Jordan, technically speaking, right? So you had, you know, Bird, Magic, and so on. They are the ones that had the NBA to go mainstream, right? Like with the Showtime era and so on. But yeah, oops, are you kidding me? Larry Bird. I mean, long before we're talking about, you know, the highlights of like Reggie Miller and Steph Curry and all that. OG Larry Bird. That's right.
But so one of the founders, I guess, of Twitter, and this is the story, right? For the bird, the name of the Twitter bird is Larry, because he was a huge, I guess, Celtics fan or Larry Bird fan.
Yeah.
That's
a good
I
point.
think that's what I read, but
Oh yeah, well
could be
it's a
wrong.
big day for Doge too. I mean, come on, you know the whole thing of changing the logo to
That
the
bothers me.
Doge.
That I'll tell
It didn't
that
bother me at
that
all. I
bothers
mean, I
me.
still have a bunch of Doge. I was cool with that, but I hear you.
I mean, not for Doge holders, obviously. You guys, you know, that's great for anybody who holds Doge. The problem is when you take somebody who is that famous, right, and who people look, they're waiting for him to do something, say something. They look through his words and his tweets to see if they can cipher out some extra meaning. And for him to do that, it literally, that's chart manipulation, right? He knows once he does that the chart is going to go crazy.
Oh yeah,
And for
and it did.
somebody who has that much power to do those kind of things just haphazardly, that even though I love the guy, I had mad respect for him, but
Me too.
I don't like to see those kinds of things. It just,
And that's where he
that
gets
can come,
criticism. Yeah.
that comes back, that can come back to bite him, you know, and saying that that's illegal what he's doing, especially if he owns any. If he owns any, it's going to be illegal. He knows he has power to change the chart.
So that's it, everybody. Tomorrow's future breaking news, just like the movie 007, Tomorrow Never Dies. Remember, there was that one publication where it's called Tomorrow's News Today. So, future breaking news: Gary Gensler goes right after Doge. Could be a thing.
Could be a thing. I doubt it, but yeah. Anyway, like I said, I love the guy. I just don't like the way it looks. Just gives a bad look.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Dave D, like to welcome you. You're either just love the D in your avatar, which looks cool. Welcome, by the way. Or you may actually be a fan of Digibyte, right? So there is that. He says, hi, everyone, waving. I feel like I'm on the brink of sneezing, but I'm not. It's kind of weird right now.
All that dust.
It is, man. You get that stuff in your ears. Oh my God. Oh. All right, let's recognize a few more people. Brian Dowdy's like, I don't know. Maybe he's talking about Cypherium, right? Tim Shays, welcome, Mr. Dave. Thank you for doing that, guys. Welcome newcomers is always a good thing. I'm just gonna double check the other screen, see how we're doing. Making sure I didn't forget anything. Salamander States, good one. OG Larry Bird, thank you for that. I like this comment from GG, and welcome again, GG. Register NPP, no party preference. There you go. And let's see here. Aliyah, the Israelite. Well, welcome back, Aliyah. Remember you, definitely. Now you have an avatar. Very cool stuff. Thank you for doing that. He says he's late to the party. Greetings to the panel and all the listeners. Thank you so much.
Hello.
GG states CPH, all talk, pump and dump. Let us know, GG, if you choose to do so. Were you originally into Cypherium, or was it one that you were like, man, I spotted that a mile away? Look at me, dust off my shoulder. No pun intended from the dust storm today. Yes, I did highlight that as I was scratching my back. Thank you for that, Mr. Brian Dowie. Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk, welcome. Thank you for being here. Just kind of welcoming some more people. Even Larry's in the house. He says, smash that like button. Thank you very much, Larry, for just stopping in. We miss you, man. But in reality, we might not see Larry for at least a week or two, and that's okay. Crypto for starters.
What's up, Alex?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, give a holler to your fellow boy. All right. glad to have you here, Crypto for Starters. And if you're not following Crypto for Starters, you can. You go over to YouTube and you can give him a follow. Let's just take a brief moment to recognize him. And if anything, I hope I can pull up his page real quick. Let me see. I think it's all one word, if I'm not mistaken. Here it is. Let me see where we're at. There we go. So let's recognize his page real quick. Also a fellow content creator. Here's his particular page. And it looks like it's this right here, C4S. We're going to click on that. And let's see here. Yeah, you can go over here. We are already subscribed to him. And let's see some of his recent videos. Bull Run Life. It says liquidity problems. We were going to have them featured here on a EMA, but I didn't hear back from one of the guys. That's okay. So definitely take a look, and if that's something that's for you. Obviously covers MMAI, some other particular projects. On top of that, let's see here. Some other projects for the past, you name it. I think he has a live show too, if I'm not mistaken.
So, fun fact for Alex from Crypto for Starters, I consider him a friend. We do cover MMAI together, but we chat, behind the scenes. He on his recent live stream, he represents, or he's on the Para team. So ParaWorks, Paratoken, and Paratoken is working on POS, and that's not proof of stake, but this is a point of sale system they're working on with crypto, and I think they've got quite far with it. I think they're going to do well. But the biggest news to come out just this last week was that the CEO, the guy in charge of ParaWorks, he was in Washington for a while, and I guess he knows some people, so he's connecting up with all the proper people there. And the news now is they are going to be registering with the SEC. So basically, trying to go down the right path, you get things started correctly with what it is they're trying to do with their project. I don't have all the details. This is just, just kind of getting out there. But this is going to allow us, and maybe you have him on, have Alex on, sometime to talk about that once there's, I think, some more details. And this is going to allow us to see what that process looks like, and what does it take, and how is it working for them? You know what I mean? I can't imagine. I mean, me myself, it's going to be the easiest thing to try to work with the SEC, and try to do the right thing. I know there's a lot of cryptos have been asking the SEC, hey, what do I need to do? And the SEC will literally give them no advice. They'll give them nothing. Say, well, we'll have to look into your company, into your business, and see if there's some sort of enforcement action that needs to be taken. So that's the news there. So yeah, fun fact. Go check out the ParaWorks token, and go check out Crypto for Starters channel to get all the info on that.
Yeah, and he does apparently live shows too. So I see there was one about 4 days ago. So definitely go ahead and give him a follow. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. And I don't know, if you check out his lives or his videos, make sure to smash that like when you do so. And speaking of which, please smash that like here. Let's go ahead and just get into a couple more comments. And then after that, we'll kick it back into our particular lineup that we have for tonight. And let's see, Brian Dowerty's thanking Alaya, unless someone tells, well, that's nice. Say what's up and so on. Also want to welcome Magic Power. Hello, guten Tag, Liechtenstein Exchange. JASMY in the house. Yes, I always got to say it. All right. One more comment from GG. Cypherium is just doing a little bit of a shady up of its website. Probably not reading that the right way. Sorry. I also keep in mind, still has some dust in my and building for its next pump and dump. Yikes. All right. Also saw Burke is in here. Thank you for being here as well, Burke. And I'll just highlight this real quick from Alaya. I could do nothing about the price, crypto/digital assets. I can only accumulate and see how it turns out.
Very true. That's all we can do, right? We make our best guess and hold on tight and see what happens. Hopefully we're betting on the right horses.
Hopefully. All right. So here's something we're going to do real quick. All right. So this is kind of off kilter to a sense. Let me see if I could pull it up. And I think I have it here. You may think this is a coincidence. Maybe not. I just want to make a bombshell announcement. All right. I think, and he might not ever admit it, but there's something here because he does finally follow me back and I follow him back. A lot of us are fans of Rich of Common Sense Crypto. Now, I want to make this announcement. The other day, if you have been watching, remember I mentioned two key things, right? A lot of us mention things, how he says XRP, right? And then on top of that, I did point out, I'm not making fun of him. It may just be where he's from, right? I personally think with his somewhat of an accent, maybe he's from like the Philly area or Eastern Pennsylvania. I'm just going to throw that out there because I had friends that also talk just like him. One key thing he mentions is instead of saying further, he says frother a lot. Now, I mentioned that, and a few hours later, he puts out a new video. Listen to what he says in the video. Is this proof that Rich of Common Sense Crypto is one of the secret listeners of CTN? Make up your own mind here. Here you go. Listen to this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great, great world. We're going to talk about XRP, but before I get started, I got to address two things. Number one, I'm going to try to say further instead of brother. I don't know why I do it.
Aha! So, Rich, if you're one of our secret listeners, you just don't want to come out and say that you love listening to the CTN, it's okay, man. It's okay. There's no harm with listening to CTN. If you're here right now, drop a comment.
That is 100% proof right there. 100% proof.
I don't know. Might be a coincidence. Anyway, listen to this, guys.
When I'm reading through something very fast, it just comes out that way. Maybe it's where I live in the world. I don't know. And the other thing,
I even mentioned that on the live show. Maybe it's where he lives in the world. I'm just saying. All right, hold on.
is all of a sudden people seem to be able to get drunk while listening to my videos because somebody
that was also pointed out in the comments from the show the other day. I listen to him when I'm drunk. I mean, some of the DJs are up here, right? Anyway, there's a little bit more. Listen to this.
Pointed out, if you take a drink every time that I say XRP in my video, by the time the video ends, you will be trashed. And now it's hard for me to say XRP without laughing. So thank you all for that. But again, I'm not always right on things, and I don't mind you calling me out on it. Listen,
there's obviously more to this. All right, that was funny. This is the next segue to just that Rich of Common Sense Crypto. So where am I going with this, right? So if anything, I want to show you guys a little bit more of what the heck I'm talking about. I fast forward to this particular section. Shout out to Sobo and other people who have been bringing up this topic. What is the topic? Where am I going with this? And so on. It's the whole thing of crap. It's the future. Things did go to the moon. We did do our proper research. I was told not to cash out into actual cash because if anything, we saw at one point the dollar collapse, or maybe during this particular time in the future, the dollar is collapsed. Oh, Crypto Lulu. Oh, Coach JV has pointed out to me in the past, back in 2022 and 2023, that I should have looked into precious metals and so on. Who also are addressing this? Well, listen to what Rich of Common Sense Crypto, and give him a follow. And Rich, if you're secretly listening, it's okay, man. It's okay. You can drop some comments, man. It's okay. Our community already loves you anyway. We've been talking about your channel for almost a year. Anyway, listen to what Rich has to say here. Here we go.
Is it playing? I can't hear it.
You can't.
I'm human. I make mistakes.
There you go.
XRP is a clear winner in the cross-border space. So we cruise
Muted.
Like I said, guys, nothing but problems today. Nothing
Yeah.
but problems today. I'm sorry.
That's
All right. Yeah, I got it right here. My bad. Let me rewind it a little bit. All right, hold on a second. All right. It's in regards to eventually, the days here. What do we do? It's XRP and so on. Just listen to what he has to mention. I'll make sure I'm on the right tab because I had 2 tabs open of him. So my bad. Yeah. Anyway. All right. And I'm not muted this time. All right. Listen to this. Gonna full screen it. Here we go.
April 2nd, 2023, XRP is trading for 52 cents. Be patient. 99% will not make it. But for those of you who are willing to stick it out until the end, generational wealth. And I always felt we can get generational wealth. We will never have to sell our XRP in the future. If you want to get passive income, there's going to be more and more options opening up. Look at Flare Finance. People saying you can't compare Amazon to XRP are 10,000% correct. You can't compare an online bookstore turned e-commerce company to the future of finance. Simply incomparable. You are holding something far better than Amazon, in my opinion. XRP is going to be moving the world's money on a daily basis. Never forget that. I am a DCTA org member. A group has formed to stop the SEC from hurting crypto. Now, I thought this was very good because this is something that needed to be done. The SEC seems to be under the impression that it has the right and the authority to police the entire crypto space. In the past several weeks, it has gone after many of the world's leading digital currency platforms, a big one being Kraken. As one of the USA's largest and most popular digital currency exchanges, the firm was forced to pay a $30 million fee to the SEC and cease all its Ethereum staking services. The new campaign is dubbed Stop the SEC and is looking to put a damper in the alleged influence the organization has over crypto and other portions of the financial area. The CDTA's deputy director, Kevin Trommer, explained in a recent interview, "We created this campaign to connect everyday consumers with their congressional representatives so they can tell them firsthand how the SEC regulation by enforcement approach to crypto is hurting their investment." And it's nice to see that because, the SEC is supposed to be out there saving us, helping us, not hurting us the way they are. Anybody who was holding XRP before December 20th of 2020 was in good standing. They were happy. They were waiting for the next run. And then what happened? This lawsuit started, and all of a sudden, XRP plummeted in value. Most people are still not back to where they bought in. Other people bought later, and they bought with hopes that the case was going to end within a few short months. And the case drug on all throughout the past 2 years and is still going today. The whole time, though, it's suppressing the price of XRP. Some people could have taken profit along the way, probably changed their lives somehow. Other people sold and got away from crypto altogether, sold at a loss, never coming back. The SEC has hurt more retail investors, in my opinion, than anyone else. Because I feel that by the way Gary is treating crypto, it's hurting retail investors. It's hurting innovation in this country at one of the worst times, in my opinion, because I just showed you everything that's going on around the US dollar. This is a time we should be embracing innovation, not pushing it out of the country. Then you got to look at the fact of how many people that probably are still trapped in crypto because they haven't got back to the value where they bought in before. Some people, you got to remember, bought the top back in 2017. A lot of people forget that. They're still stuck here in XRP. They probably thought back in 2021 this was their chance to cash out, but it stayed suppressed and never broke out to a new all-time high. But I do believe that very soon XRP is going to show a new all-time high and it's going to continue upward because there's a lot of things that are going to give value to XRP. You got to remember the case ending, ISO, That's something that I still believe we haven't even seen any value from yet. Then you got to remember there's going to be a lot of ODL corridors opening up all the time. And especially if Ripple wins against the SEC, even here in the US, banks are going to embrace XRP and that ODL. They're going to have to once the liquidity crisis sets in. But on top of that, you look at the XRP ledger and it's exploding with all new building going on all the time. That's going to add value as well. So, with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video.
I apologize. I thought it was on that particular at the end of it where he points out the case for precious metals, and maybe Sean has some material in regards to just that. But you guys seen it yourself, and if anything, Rich does point out some key things. Like he mentions, in the future, you want to talk about cashing out, right? And again, this is just the example of XRP. This can be applied towards many other things. It's the future. And, let's face it, that day will come. What do we do? Do we really cash out? I was looking at some exchanges because some of you guys were, stating in the past, like, is there an exchange in which, the days here in which, does any of these, have limits? And I was looking at more into it and I saw, was it Coinbase? It's got a lot of criticism. There's supposedly no limits on your withdrawals, but in reality, kind of like what he mentioned, I mean, if we're at this point in the future and whatnot, do you not cash out your XRP? And if the whole thing of regulatory clarities here, and you have the Black Rocks already, all that massive wave of everything, the same market caps, you name it. We can't have something that's volatile. So if it's not volatile right there, then to me personally, then maybe like Rich was mentioning, the answer is no. You don't cash out the likes of XRP, so on and so forth. You earn interest off it. And I know that's a lot of speculative stuff about the future, but let's face it, a lot of things that we thought weren't going to be ever here or even mentioned, CBDCs, you name it. Now everybody's talking about some of these things. So Sean.
So this is a very large topic, and it can turn conspiratorial real quick, right? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I mean, I like to think I'm not. I'm a realist. So when we're talking about either the collapse of the dollar or the hyperinflation of the dollar, which obviously leads to its collapse, CBDC's coming. Operation Sandman. I don't know if everybody knows about that, but basically, right now, if you look, the facts are there. You can Google this. You can watch the news if they choose to report it. China, Brazil, Russia, right? Saudi Arabia now, Turkey, Iran, South Africa. All of these different countries now are getting together to stop using the U.S. dollar, right? And this, I don't think this is given enough news coverage today, and I don't think people are paying attention, right? Why are we not paying attention? Because we are so used to living in our bubble where everything just runs along normal, and you get up in the morning, your credit card works, your debit card works, you got a little cash in your pocket, you go to the gas station, there's gas there, right? We don't have these real significant issues, so we're not looking for a problem, right? Why do I want to see a problem when I don't, there's no problem in my day-to-day life? But we do know the day is going to come where the dollar is dead, right? That day, that is a guarantee. Now, it's a year from now, it's 10 years from now. How long can they nurse the system along? But at some point, it has to die, right? And they have to transition.
Saying 2 weeks for crying out loud.
I know. I'm like, I'll wake up tomorrow and we're still fine.
I'm like, if that's the case, I mean, I would not cash out. I don't give a crap what it was. I would switch it to some other stable asset. I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, why the heck, if the dollar crashed in 2 weeks, why the heck would I, think about being so excited, man, I invested in, like, me on Filecoin, for instance, right? Yeah, my power swap. Yeah, rah, this is amazing. And, yeah, I just cashed it out to USD and it's worth, I don't know, 50 cents or something.
Right. But so you have to consider, like, you have to really think about what is the problem in front of us, right? What's the first problem, right? What's going to happen first? Is the dollar going to collapse? Is our paper money going to be completely worthless? Yeah, at some point it will. can I go to the bank and actually pull any money out if our money isn't worthless, right? These bank runs that are going to continue to happen as more and more people realize that the bank literally does not have your money anymore. They've made a lot of bad plays. We went from fractional reserve banking, which basically was holding, the bank had to hold 10%, to just recently where there's no reserve banking, where they don't have to have any reserves. It's not required for them anymore. Now, they may have to change that here real quick to get people's trust back in the banks. But if the masses understood that the banks literally don't have everybody's money, there would be bank runs, and it would be over. Right?
You know
It would be the end of it. It is scary.
Oh,
it
man.
really is scary to think
scary,
about.
Scary stuff. Yeah.
So I mean, individually,
at night. Yeah.
I could go down and I could pull my money out of the bank, and maybe it might take a day or two for them to get the cash ready, you know, whatever. I'm sure I'd have to fill out some sort of form because they want to be able to track you. But if 1,000 people went to my credit union and tried to pull their money out, large amounts of money out, the credit union is going to have a problem. Even the credit union, right? Because they still have to make money. So they take your money and they have to put it out there to make interest, right? To make their money. So they put it out in forms of loans and bets, basically on stock markets and treasuries and things like that. So
yeah, they do that.
We're talking about multiple different problems, and we're not really sure which one's going to happen first. So it comes back to, what do you do about it? Like, how are you prepared for that? Are you going to leave all of your crypto in? Because remember, here's another problem. If they come out with their CBDC, right? Well, I'm just talking the US, right? Not the rest of the world. They come out with the CBDC. Do you think they're going to want a lot of competition out there with these other cryptocurrencies? No,
not really.
They're going to start picking them off one by one, or just say, hey, you know what? Everything else is illegal except for ours. And they say, well, you can't stop me. I got a VPN and I can do this and that and hold it, you know, in my ledger.
Oh my gosh.
But all they got to do is kill the off ramp. Right? If they say it's illegal now, and no banks can accept any form of transfers from centralized from exchanges, guess what? Your crypto doesn't mean anything.
This is fueling the conspiracy fire.
Yeah. Right.
Because,
so you can see the numerous amount of problems that exist out there, and we don't know what to do. So for me, it's try to prepare, you know, as best you can. I have, you know, I told my wife, this was just a couple weeks ago. I said, I need you to go get a bunch of cash out of our savings account, and I want to keep it cash just in case. Right.
I did the same thing. I told some of my friends locally the same thing that you told your wife. They went and did it because you got to prepare for the what ifs, you know,
because we really don't know. And by the time it becomes a problem, it's too late. You can't go get your cash out, right? If that's an issue. And maybe it's a temporary situation where, you know, the banks are crashing. There's going to be, and here's the scariest part. The scariest part is if there's no real plan in place and a collapse happens, or some sort of collapse happens, and there's mass panic, right? We saw it with, you know, the C word.
Yeah.
And people start freaking out, right? And it may be temporary.
People freaking out because they can't wipe their butt, and everybody goes
and buys out. Yeah,
no all more the toilet paper. And now we're in this new era where everyone's like, I have no access to cash. And so as a result, it's like a toilet paper episode again, but it's with the banks with cash.
Right.
Which apparently like won't be worth anything to wipe your butt on in the future with that too. So I mean, oh my God.
Yeah. It can get bad quickly. We've seen it, right? We know how humans act. But it may be a temporary thing. Maybe it's a couple of weeks before they have their new system and they're ready to go. They're, you know, whatever it is. Maybe it doesn't last as long, but people don't know that. They don't know if it's going to be a day or a month or a year or now we're going back to the, you know, caveman, you know, era. They don't know, and they're going to act irrationally, especially if they're not prepared. So I say, yeah, let's keep some cash. I have some gold and silver, smaller denominations of gold and silver, so that, you know, it can be spent if you need it, right? If it comes down to it, right? If we're talking about worst case scenarios here, but it's a just in case. Because I had to explain to my wife, because she didn't want to buy a bunch of gold and silver. She's like, why? Why don't we just keep it in savings, whatever? I don't want to spend that money. I said, well, look, it's not like you're spending the money. You're just transferring it from one form to another. And let's say a year from now, everything's all hunky dory and we're, you know, back to rainbows and Yahtzee. We can turn it back into cash. Like, it's just, you know, it's transferable value. So that made sense.
So I was going to say, yeah, you gave her that breakdown. She went for it.
Yeah. Everything's fine. Yeah. In the future, we can turn it right back into cash. There's no big deal.
How about this? You know, we're talking about the whole thing of, you know, we'll kick it back in the comments here in a second, but guys, how about this? You know, there's certain movies, it's like science fiction and so on. Just hear me out on this one, right? So again, the movie Scarface, think about this for a second, right? Tony Montana, right? He mentions once you get the money, then you get the power. Once you get the power, blankety blank will respect you, right? So who has the money and who has the power as we speak? Again, add it up for yourself. If anything, why not prepare for some of the future of what's going on? Because I mean, if we got this whole topic of bank runs, and technically speaking, it's like the government is still in control. They're the ones with the power, just like what Sean was saying earlier. The topic of a CBDC, and they just say at a moment's notice, like everything else is illegal except for our own officially regulated government issued CBDC and so on. Yeah, they have the money, they have the power, and then
they always will.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, this whole notion of decentralized finance and decentralized currencies out there that are going to be floating around everywhere. That we want to see in crypto, right? That's kind of why people got into crypto, was that decentralized aspect of it. The government is never going to allow that to go for very long, right? They're going to be all right. You guys had your fun. Now it's dead. Now you're going to play by our rules again, and we go down that road. So, and hopefully it doesn't ever get, too. And I know we're talking about doomsday scenarios in the worst case, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But if you guys, whatever you have in crypto, whatever you have in fiat, just try to have a plan, because you may not be able to get your crypto out. If you got $100 grand worth of crypto sitting there and they're not going to let you cash it out into anything you can spend, and nobody can accept any other crypto, you got a problem. So,
yeah.
Right. Bitcoin, I think, is going to face the same thing. And Bitcoin, once they come out with their, whatever it is they want, and the world is using different CBDCs and different styles, but they may not want Bitcoin out there as a competitor. Right. The G7's getting together, I think, next month, and it's going to come out with what Gary Gensler hopes is a unified regulatory framework for crypto. And that may be starting to crack down, in other countries as well as the US.
Well,
right?
yesterday, shout out to one of our guys. He actually might be here. I think I saw him in the comments. It's either him or somebody else, reported from the JASMY community that one of the G7 countries, right, Japan, basically bent the knee, right, to Russia. Was it $60 a barrel or something like that? You know what I mean?
It's showing cracks everywhere. You can see it everywhere, right? And it's in our face now every day. We look at it because we're in crypto, right? We're in this space. But there's a lot of people. I try to talk to people at work about it, and they have no idea what's going on. I'm like, you guys need to pay it. And it sucks because everybody assume, and remember the story I went back to, in the very beginning about, we just assume everything is normal every day. You get up and everything works, right? Your water turns on, your power turns on, so everything's fine. Just like back when, in 2020, when the C word started, in the very beginning, we're like, oh, this sucks, right? Your life now is disrupted. They want to shut everything down. Can't go to work. Nobody's going to school. And then all you can think about is, well, this is going to be over in a couple of weeks, right? Because that's what they were saying. Well, 15 days to, I forget what the stupid mantra they had in the very beginning. So we just assumed in a couple of weeks it was going to go away and we were going to be back to normal. And then it turned into a couple of months, and then eventually a couple of years. And now we know it's never going to go back to normal. That life we had before 2020 is never going to exist again, right?
Well, some things kind of feel normal. Like
most things,
yeah.
It's tough because we've divided the country, right? The country's still very divided over that, over the response, over the disease itself or the virus itself. And then we still have lasting effects like work from home, right? Where companies are having a hard time getting people to come back to the office, right? And so we're going through those kind of issues. So it's, the country will never be the same as it was before 2020.
In a sense, it kind of reminds me of a Lincoln prophecy. He said that we would never have like a foreign invader that would like take us down, is how you basically believe. But, it was, from within. Is this a form of that, just that within? Could very well be. I want to jump further down into some of these comments just to recognize you guys. We're having some great discussions here. Everybody, of course, welcome GS while back. Menelect, hello. Is it Menelect you're looking for? Lionel Richie, yes, it's going to be on merch someday. Welcome, Menelect, with the great intellect. Appreciate you, Menelect. Always mean that, man. Thank you very much. There's one of the guys that's talking about the JASMY movement. Thank you for being here. If you happen to be on crypto Twitter, give him a follow. The JASMY movement, great content, keeps us all informed. Not just JASMY, right? So you got some great tweets that he puts out there. I believe the news that we just mentioned in regards to one of the G7 countries, right? Japan. I think that came from you. So shout out to you for providing the info, whether it's good or bad and so on. He says, great to see both Max and the Crypto Smith. You guys rock in the crypto community.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very, very much. All right. Magic Power says, Mr. Lambos, nobody knows when and how much, but the potential of XRP is extreme. It's all about utilization. Very true. Got some people giving a thumbs up to JASMY, as in, Mr. the JASMY movement. And also, you can say JASMY too. Dan the Man is here. Always reminds me of my middle school times, some of the best times of my life. I'll never trade my childhood for anything. I had a great childhood. Not a lot of people could say that. Hopefully you guys had a great childhood. Some of you didn't. But my childhood, I have to admit, man, you want to talk about memories that you take maybe in the afterlife? You can't take the money with you, right? We can't take our XRP with us or Quant, some of the other ones. But we definitely take the memories. So he has, in my opinion, the Binsmead Bulldogs, which is the same as the Georgetown Hoyas avatar. He states they don't want us rich. They were like, oh, ish, take it down. Yeah. I'm reading a few more comments. The JASMY movement, Max and team, great job detailing, bringing the boom fire, JASMY, launch of the grant program. Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, I think I took some of your info. Crypto Twitter, that's basically how it is and so on. I mean, who does it best? In my opinion, probably Rich Common Sense Crypto. But it's a collective group of communities that come together and get the word out to educate people in regards to all this. But yeah, thank you very much. Glad to put out that particular update today. If you haven't seen it, you can go to our video section. And that's what he's referring to. That is the title, JASMY launch of the grant program plus Shiro NFTs. It's a brand new project building on JASMY. How cool is that? So a lot in regards to that. We're going to read this one from Menelect. I guess, Sean, take it away.
Yeah, Cypherium looked promising early on, and many thoughts was a real winner, but there are many clouds around CPH State. Yeah, and that's true, right? I was one of those. I thought it looked pretty promising. I took the FedNow listing, made sure it was real, did a little bit of digging, looked good to me. Of course, I don't do the real deep dives, like some channels do, kind of give you that 30,000 foot view. But going back, I'm not going to take my videos down. I stand by, my content. And if some things end up being wrong, they're wrong. That happens. But yeah, it did look promising, and it was great. Right, it was a great price. Great market cap. Good time to get in. So I don't necessarily regret getting in right now. I think there's still potential there. It's still so early. There's potential there for some something to happen. And you're 45 minutes behind in the comments. I'm just no pressure.
Oh, jeez.
No pressure.
So bad. All right. That's something I noticed is that Patrick Collier, there's an announcement. He gifted one Crypto Talk Now membership. Oh, but he has not, I guess it hasn't announced who it's been gifted to.
So Patrick Collier was on my live stream Saturday, and
I saw that a whole bunch of people
gifted a whole bunch of super cool dude, very very generous, very kind. Yeah, that's super cool. But you can see it's hard to tell.
Well, here's the thing. If I click on it, it just says gifted one Crypto Talk Now membership, and it says allow gifts. I mean, I'll click allow gifts. So why wouldn't I? Hold on. Choose whether others can gift you a Crypto Talk Now membership. Public announcements channel. All right, so I added the change. Okay, it's prompting me. Okay, so I accepted the prompt, and I fixed that, Patrick. And thank you for that. As Larry would say, thank you for that. All right, cool. So that was awesome, Patrick. You rock, man. And somehow, Tim Shea, I don't know the story behind that. So two awesome individuals. Thank you. Hey, Brian Dowie, greatly appreciate you, brother. Yep, you guys are awesome. This community we have here is very awesome. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. We still have a little bit more in regards to the show, obviously. Burke is here. GF Burke, KAS, as in Caspa, not, Casper. How about this? It's like, you're going to sit on the Coib and listen to the boys choip. You're going to sit on your Caspa, or you're going to get into Casper. I don't know.
Very good.
Yeah. KS macro retrace golden pocket is 0.0235 big order set. Well, thank you for that. I got to get some Caspa. I am actually convinced on that. There's this guy, he watches our show. Maybe you heard of him. His name is Papa X Mex. He's been 2 for 2 on some of the things that he shilled to me, if you want to call it that. I don't mean that in a bad way. So ever since he's been 2 for 2, like, nothing against anybody else, but for this guy, like, if he sends anything my way and he tells me, like, man, this is gonna blast off soon, I tend to listen to him, because literally, like, boom, Rio, that went off immediately. Like, we covered at 8 cents. Like, within a few days later, boom, over like 32 cents. It's like a 4x in like not even a week. It was pretty awesome stuff. But anyway, Caspa, you mentioned the same breath. We did intro on that. It's pretty cool to see some of those particular gems, and we're glad to bring it to the community. Elias states, I got interested in JASMY, listened to CTN and Career Finance. Yes. And shout out to him. I hope he is doing a lot better. I'm glad it was as he posted, I think he said it was a mini stroke, and was it something bigger than that? So, once he's back, maybe I could drop in there, especially if he did a live. I don't know if he does live. I think some of you guys said he did, but I'll try to drop some comments, even just on his channel. I dropped some comments on his Twitter. But yeah, guys, I mean, once he's back to normal, just, tell him, we send him some of our thoughts, our love, or best wishes to him for speedy recovery. Brian Dowie says Volante is a part of FedNow. Volante, a Ripple partner. Yeah, we pointed this out before. I know you talked a lot about Volante.
Yeah.
All right. Just a few more. How about this? Hashtag Jewel is doing pretty good, as will hashtag Wait. Apparently, these will be featured in a crypto movie coming out this summer, for your information. Good stuff. Man, I'm about to sneeze again, and it never happens. It's driving me crazy. Darn Phoenix, Arizona dust storm nonsense. All right, GG. Cypherium went from a very unknown and quite, excuse me, I'm not reading that right, to the next moment of saying it was an XRP killer, essentially. So much talking by Sky and a TG cult. I mean, just to even mention that, right? I mean, you did, and I have nothing against that. But think about how that sounds. These are supposed to be standout projects, right? Not me.
Bless you. Okay, I'll take over for a second. So Volante, I know you guys were just mentioning Volante, and Volante moves a lot of money. They do. I'm just on their website again, just to give you a little clip of what they say. Their solutions for payments and financial messaging automation are mission critical. They power some of the world's largest banks, market infrastructures, exchanges, clearinghouses, and card networks. Trillions of dollars move through their system on a daily basis. Just one of our clients, we process over 800 million transactions per day. That's Volante. And yes, they are a partner of Ripple. However, it doesn't, and I know people want to put these two things together, but that doesn't mean they're going to be using the XRPL or XRP, as far as, that's my personal opinion. I just don't see the direct connection with, and I know a lot of people want to put that XRP out there to be used. Honestly, I hope it does. I hold a lot of XRP. It would do me very well. But I just don't see it. I know, Brian Dowie, you've asked, a few times, Volante is part of FedNow. Volante is a Ripple partner. I just don't see that direct connection to XRP. But I hope I'm wrong.
This hay fever is killing me, Sean. The dust storm earlier. I just went on a freaking sneezing fiasco right there. I just had to, mute myself, take me off camera. Ugh, horrible. All right. Thank you for covering for me for the brief moment. Tim Shea says, Burke, I feel like I missed on Caspa. Not quite yet. So originally, before that really took off and so on, right? It was roughly around that like the 1 cent mark. So I think you're still good. If you don't believe me in regards to that, I'm sure you do believe me, but just look at the chart, Tim. Understand that you're not too far away. Sure, we would love to come in at a penny or slightly under and so on, but there's still good entry points. They have pullbacks, and so I'm just waiting for my proper time. But man, I have got to just every single time I say to myself, I'm gonna stack more quant, I'm gonna stack more of this, stack more of that. Then there's a Caspa that shows up, a Rio that shows up, an Elk or something like that. But after that, man, it would have to be the greatest thing since sliced bread for me to get into something at this point. I got to continue to stack because I feel as though that or time is going to be running out. I mean, going from the accumulation phase to markup, you don't want to be stacking during a markup phase in crypto, in my opinion. Menelike, JASMY is the only Cypherium I'm buying until I see 100% clarity. All right. I'm just going to jump down a few more. I'm welcome Olamide. Thank you for being here. You may jump back in if it goes to 1 cent. Max or Sean, here's a question for Brian Dowie, whose comments I am reading. Yes.
Just for you, Brian.
Just for you, Brian. Thoughts on XRP being used for the Fed now? I'll let you take that away.
So yeah, and I was just actually explaining that with Volante, because that's really the in, right, the connection that Ripple has to the FedNow system. I just, like I said, I don't see a direct connection for XRP and the XRPL with Volante. Nobody is saying that. Nobody has come out and said that. So, I mean, I can't say they're going to use XRP. I just don't see it. But again, I hope I'm wrong. And then here's one of the things I really wish, Brad Garlinghouse or David Schwartz would come out and clarify some of this stuff. And I know it's hard for them because if they're executives of a company, and they're making remarks that could cause people to either buy or sell, their private equity or the token, that doesn't have a good look either. So if they're going to say, oh yeah, we're definitely, FedNow is definitely using XRP, and we're connected to 20 different CBDCs, and they're definitely going to be using XRPs. If they came out and said that, that would be a legal problem, I'm sure, for them right now. So, but it would be nice to have some sort of clarification from the top instead of us, crypto guys out here, trying to guess, what's going to happen.
Yeah, no kidding. So with that said, I'm going to leave it at that particular bookmark. We're going to get into this particular clip that we have from Coach JV. He put this out just a few hours ago. It is in regards to, it says, this is not looking good for the American dollar. We're going to play this for, I don't know, roughly, I think we're probably play it for the whole time, because after that, we're just going to rapid fire into the comments. I want to respect Sean's time here tonight. So once we hit that 2-hour mark, for the most part, we'll be really, really probably finishing the last bit of comments and so on. I think it's been a decent show, trying to tackle some of these key things in regards to precious metals, you name it, and how to go about that. Maybe we didn't get right into the nitty gritty about there's this specific company or I trust capital, or some of these other things with precious metals, you name it. But we will continue to talk more about some of these key topics for the future, because why not? A lot of times there's just content creators, whether there's myself, maybe Sean, the next guy, who talks about the news and keeping up with the updates of certain crypto projects in the news. We do need to prepare for the future from an educational standpoint for, what do we do? Want to cash out, don't want to cash out the wrong time. But these are really good questions that you guys have brought to us from a community point of view. Let's jump into this from Coach JV. We will play the entire duration. It's about roughly 9 minutes, but this is good stuff. So just like he mentions, this is not looking good for the American dollar, April 2023. This was posted, I believe, earlier today. So this is at 5:14 this morning on April 3rd. Give Coach JV a follow, a fellow Phoenician. I'm not originally from Phoenix, but he's in the Phoenix area, Scottsdale. So shout out to him and the 3T Warriors Academy. You can find them on Twitter, YouTube, especially. They have great morning shows. Anyway, here we go. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. And thank you so much for being here tonight for Utility Talk Now with fellow co-host Sean the Crypto Smith. While you're in the process of doing so and you're listening to this, maybe consider going over to his particular page on YouTube channel, which is the Space Crypto Smith, and give him a follow if you're not doing that already. All right, here we go.
Americans, is this the end of the US dollar as we know it? Our whole monetary system is going through a radical change. As everybody is hyper focused on Trump's indictment, there's something happening with our financial system that we will never experience again in our living history. So let's break down some numbers, facts, figures, numbers, logic. I'm going to show you 2 videos, things that were happening this Saturday. I was one of 60 people watching this briefing from Kamala Harris, our vice president, talking about digital inclusion and bringing the public and private sector together as our economy is collapsing. So number 1 is America is at 130% GDP to debt. Now, what does that mean? If we sold all the gross domestic products in America, America cannot even pay off its debt. Since 2008, our debt to income ratio has skyrocketed. Number 2, 33% of America's debt is held outside of the United States, and 2 of the top countries are China and Japan that hold US debt. Number 3 is in America, we are a debt-based society. We are the liquidity. Your hard-earned money in America. So every time a construction worker goes to work, gets his paycheck, here's how the system works. That construction worker takes their money and puts their $2,000 every 2 weeks into the banking system. That $2,000 now, as of 2020, can be lent out 100%. Before 2020, we had fractional reserves. They still only had to keep 10%. But since 2020, when that construction worker puts their $2,000 hard-earned money into the bank, 100% of their money can be lent to the next person. So when you're standing in line at the bank to deposit your check, 100% of the is debt. There is no actual money in the system. Now you're probably like, why? Well, 1971, we detached from the gold standard. The American dollar has nothing backing it. Here's where the rub comes in. We had dominance. We had power because all oil was traded in US dollars since 1974 with the Petro deal, where we promised arms and protection to the Saudis for trading all oil in US dollars. Well, as you sit right now, as you're worried about shit that doesn't matter, all countries are working to de-dollarize, specifically China and Russia. China went into India and created a peace deal that we couldn't do. China and Russia are working together to create their own currency. And most countries are done with the dollar dominance. Here's why. Is when we raise interest rates, it destroys all other economies because we are the dominant currency. So let's put ourselves in other people's shoes as Americans. So people are looking at America now. We're at 130% debt to income ratio. We're bankrupt. We dominate everybody's currency. So when we raise our interest rates, the American dollar becomes very valuable, but destroys other countries. So you're sitting in another country watching our president and our vice president and our feds run our monetary system. And you're like, wait a minute. So you have the worst ran monetary system. All your liquidity is other people's debt. And every time you raise interest rates, you're going to destroy my currency and my people's hard-earned money. Everybody's done with it. The US dollar dominance is done. I'm proud to be an American. I built companies in America. I'm just telling you what's happening. I didn't create these policies. I didn't put us in debt. I didn't create a debt-based system where your money is the liquidity for their policies. Okay, so let's go back to macroeconomics. So if they need to get more money, they have to raise or eliminate the debt ceiling. We have to borrow to pay for critical services like postal worker pensions. So there's only 4 ways you can fix this. Then I'll get to the videos, I promise. Number 1, in a debt-based society or in a debt crisis, please go read Ray Dalio's books. Number 1 is you can move the money from the people who have the debt to the people who need it. They're not going to do that. Number 2 is you can turn the printing machine on full blast. They might do that, devalues the dollar even more. Number 3, you can stop spending. They can't. We're broke. Or they could and not pay for critical services. Or number 4, you can restructure debt. So what is happening right now? Bank bail-ins are happening right now where they are taking banks' debt, turning it into equity and selling it to larger banks. Think about that. Okay, so as you look this way at Trump's indictment, here's what's happening in Africa. So instead of focusing and fixing our country, here's what Kamala Harris is doing. So this video was 10 days ago of the Kenya president stating this about the American dollar.
For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so that was 10 days ago. This is Kamala Harris. I was one of 60 people watching this briefing on Saturday morning as everybody else is focused on other things in the news. I'm going to play 2 videos. So this is video number 1. This is her briefing. She's in Africa 10 days later from that video of what the Kenya president said.
And opportunities that we have seen thus far to the benefit of the entire world. To help achieve these goals, I believe in the strength of public-private partnerships. And in fact, this approach that we have taken and the occasion for this meeting, I probably more accurately would call it a private-public partnership.
We'll just pause on that smile for just a moment. We're going to play one more video and then I'll break down what I think is happening. Just my opinion, not financial advice. Okay, pay attention.
Trip this time. And one of them is the issue of digital inclusion. So when we think about where we are in terms of 21st century economies, digital services are essential to 21st century economies. Digital technologies facilitate opportunities across society, and frankly, I believe can be great equalizers in terms of giving those who have access equal opportunity and availability to information, to education, to networks in a way that improves and empowers themselves, their families, their community, and all of society benefits. And of course, when we talk about digital access, we are talking about everything from financial inclusion to economic opportunities, all of which obviously drive growth and innovation. Africa's digital economy is large and growing. Within the next 2 years, for example, the forecast is that 1 in 6 of the world's internet users will be right here on this continent.
1 in 6 internet users will be in that continent. No wonder they're there. Liquidity. Get everybody in the system. CBDCs are coming, central bank digital currencies. Every central bank will have a central bank digital currency. There will be a new infrastructure of the financial system, blockchain technology. Elizabeth Warren says cryptocurrency is a fraud. Jamie Dimon says cryptocurrency is a fraud. But Jamie Dimon says blockchain is here to stay. Understand how to decipher their words. Understand what they're saying. Know the game so you can't be played. There will never be an opportunity like this in our living history during the biggest shift in financial wealth, the biggest shift in transformation of wealth from the baby boomers down to the next generation, and a switch in a monetary system, Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, industrial to technical. I can only present facts, figures, numbers, logic to you and what's actually happening in our financial system. Our vice president is in Africa, in the largest continent in the world, working to get financial inclusion in the private and public sector together to get all the liquidity running back through the system. They need liquidity. People and their hard-earned money are the liquidity. I'll leave you with this nugget. Ripple expands into Africa, partnering with MSF Africa to bring the benefits of crypto-enabled payments to the continent November 15, 2022. Jay Clayton initiated a case against Ripple December 20th, 2020. And now Jay Clayton sits on the board for the FDIC, which is bailing in banks, turning credit into equity and selling them to the larger banks. Welcome to the shift in your monetary system. Welcome to the death of the dollar and the rise of new digital currency. I didn't create the game. I'm just paying attention to it. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Love you guys. If you're still here, click the link in my bio. Join my Warrior Academy.
All right, so there you have it. I didn't want to pause it halfway through and so on in regards to that. I just thought, let's just go ahead and play the whole thing. and we did. Your thoughts, Sean?
Well, he's not wrong. I mean, that's, I watch him also. A lot of times in the morning on my way to work, I'll throw it on one of their videos. So it is one of those things where it can be very scary, right? And if you look at all the pieces and put them together, you're probably going to come to the same conclusion. Now, the question for me isn't, if, just when, but what is it going to be, right? And I know he's big into XRP, and Ripple covers that a lot. And he holds other tokens as well, but I think he's part of that group that thinks XRP is going to be that generational wealth. And I have my reservations. I mean, I'm in it. I'd love to see it, but until the pieces start to drop, we can actually pin these things together. It's hard to really take the same stand that he does, and I know others do. So that's kind of how I take it. I guess I'm just hedging my bets, which is why we all, hopefully are diversified in your investments out there, and don't put everything into one bag. If it's going to be as prolific as they make it sound, and that they believe it's going to be, then whatever amount of XRP you might hold, should be good, right? It's going to make a difference for you.
Should be more than good. I mean, and also, people ask this quite often, how much XRP should I hold? How much quant should I hold? In reality, it's how long you're willing to hold it, and what are you thinking in your mind or convicted to as far as like where it's going to go eventually, whether it's by 2025, like some people point out, or you're really, really, really long term. You're like, man, I'm going to hold this till like 2030, where we get maybe 50% worldwide adoption or higher. Let's kick it back into the comments. And then after that, approaching the 2-hour mark, we'll probably try to wind things down. So we'll be really, really focused on the comments at this particular point.
Yeah,
there's a lot to catch up on. So Olamide states Pocahontas is fake. I'm just going to read some key ones I noticed. I want to welcome Michael Montclair, obviously. He says,
Michael.
Hey, yeah, welcome. He bought more XRP. Let's go. Well, congrats, man. Awesome. You're preparing for that generational wealth, as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna see that we have a great comment from Mendelek. Bird and MJ took the NBA to new highs. Yes. Michael Jordan took the NBA global, and XRP will take crypto global. Man, Mendelek always has the best lines when it comes to that. Mendelek,
very smart man.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for that, Menelek. Appreciate you, brother. Magic Power, JASMY movement. I hope JASMY becomes a big community, get big partnerships, and hope for a own blockchain, open source upgrade for the IoT, Internet of Things, the real big thing. Thank you for that comment, Magic Power. Everybody's welcome, Coochie Boy. Again, welcome again, Coochie Boy. If I didn't say it before, I know I did, but I want to welcome you again. Menelek also said Elon's ego keeps getting in the way, but I think he is part of the global cartel of distraction. Ooh. All right. Brian Dowie, Max, you just say you love the D. No, I would not say that. I would say I love Detroit. How's it go? I'm Detroit. You the D, you the new kid on the block about to get smacked back to the boondocks, Mr. Brian Dowie. This crypto talk now squad ain't your type, so take some real advice and form a group with Vanilla Ice. And when I tell Sean he better use it, this is quant, not hillbilly music. Freaking Brian Dowie singing that stuff. Okay, I can't do more raps right now. I took it from 8 Mile and twisted it up a little bit. Sorry. All right, Brittany, welcome. All right. Love 8 Mile, obviously. All right. Geez, you guys are horrible. Bad. DGen talk now. See, Max loves the DGen.
Here it goes. Yeah.
DGen talk. Guys have been hanging out with Rodney too much is what's going on in here. Shout out to Rodney.
So I'm going to answer Brian if you're still here. I did hear what they were talking about. I did hear it also.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, it's good to have some good laughs. Boomer effing Sooner. Boomer effing Sooner. Pictured. Who can we make out there? Obviously, it's Boomer on the right. And that's a famous celebrity on the left. I can't make out who that is right now, though. I know who that is. I can't think of it at the tip of my tongue. Can you make it out? Or is it got to squint too much?
I can't make that one out.
All right, so let's go further back up because I just lost my place because it just a whole like that's the whole thing. I'm sure you have these problems sometimes. It's like there's a wave of comments that come in and it just like throws you off where you're at.
It's tough to keep up. It really is.
Yeah, it is. So it's good problems though. I saw a long time ago that Mr. Selmo Flood is here. Thank you for being here, Selmo. I think I'm close to where we're at. Hold on a second. Jeez. This is a lot. This is good stuff though. All right, there we go. All right. Boomer. Hopefully Max reads my comment. Vaseline. Yeah, Brian. No Vaseline in the M16. I feed my body like I give it creatine. My favorite jewel is diamond. My favorite color is green. You gotta pee green and drink Louis the 13. There you go. All right. Anyway, all right. Boomer Afasuder. I did, however, hear Max say about 10 minutes ago. You'll probably remember me pulling this out. Wow.
You didn't want to read that one.
Wow. You guys are horrible. DGen Talk Now segment of Crypto Talk Now. Oh God, Mr. Rodney of My Crypto Journey is rubbing off on you. Now that's another one I'm gonna say. Oh, you just said
don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that either. Yeah, rubbing off on you guys. All right, so Salamander says fiat leak on XRP shows Australia more than usual buying XRP. All right, let's see here. Menelec, at least he's gonna keep it serious, hopefully. Do you think Cypherium was being intentionally obtuse to hide the fact it was working with the Fed? I'll let you answer that.
Well, I mean, we know they were not working. See, and again, you have to watch how you say that. Working with the Fed, sounds like something else, right? They were just approved to be a service provider on the FedNow showcase, right? So these are a lot of different companies, including Volante and Cypherium, that customers can choose to work with. It doesn't mean the Fed is going to use them, as a payment rail. So that's the problem, I think, that a lot of people don't understand. And so if you're talking to a bunch of people who don't really know what the FedNow system is, then you can make it sound like, oh, Cypherium is working with the Fed, right? But that's not really the case. So you have to really parse that out and get specific about what that means. And no, I don't think they have some super secret deal, to partner with the Fed. So
I was reading some other particular comments and I saw where Brian Dowie is saying, Max, you started or whatever. Anyway, and I just came back to this screen, Sean, and like when you were talking, like the video just went like crazy, like all super fast, like it was like a VHS tape on fast forward or something. It was really weird. Anyway.
Yeah, I think you keep freezing up a little bit.
Yeah, it's there are problems with the storm and stuff. I know people are like, oh, there's no such thing as a storm in Phoenix. We get these things, they're called haboobs. And now they're going to talk about that too. No, it's a thing. I'm not talking about the other. And then they're going to say boob talk now. And never mind. All right, let's go further down. That was the thing of the other day. Menelec says CTN is underrated media jewel. Wow, thanks, man. In the crypto space. So don't be surprised the show has the attention of other content creators. Man, that just made my day. I had a crappy day. I had the worst day. Menelec, you just made my day, man. Thank you, man. Really.
Yeah, great comment.
But you know what? As the saying goes, here's the thing. We're called Crypto Talk Now. In reality, we should probably be called like Community Talk Now to a sense because we're all about community. And you know what? We have a very intelligent group of people here. You can tell, right? Like, and there's nothing wrong with being new. It's all part of that, the crypto journey and so on. But I would not trade this community for anything. Thank you so much, man. And, shout out to you, Sean, Crypto Smith, and so on. People like you who've been with us. You guys are all a part of that particular journey. You guys rock. I really appreciate it. Anybody that's listening right now, just listen to the show. We get reports about that, right? Like you guys share that feedback with us. Hey, I'm a trucker. I drive down the road. I listen to you guys, or I watch the replays or listen to replays, all that stuff. I can't thank you guys enough. But yeah, one last time, man. That really made my day. Thank you so much, man.
Awesome.
Tim Shea says Rich has followed me for a while now. Awesome, Tim. That's cool. He is pretty cool, and I appreciate him. That's super cool. See, I mean, he's engaged, being engaged with people that listen to him and so on. And he recognized that. That's cool. Shout out to him. I mean, if you're not following Rich at Common Sense Crypto, then you might as well not even like listen to ISO talk about anything, right? Utility, right? The guy covers it continuously. I know that he only covers ones that he's invested in, and I understand that. I get that. We do cover a lot of things that we might not all be invested in, but I can respect his point of view when it comes to that. All right, let's read a few more. Space Chick watches. Hey, Space Chick. I didn't even know she was in here. Welcome, Space Chick. Give her a follow. Great content creator. So, how about this? Shout out to Space Chick. Here's why I want to give a shout out to Space Chick. So, as we know, she has a big presence in Volt. She came and she, has made it public that she appreciates listening to content from like an educational point of view and so on. She's learning things. I heard her say that and so on. And she's covering HBAR. And she even did on her live, she was talking about quant and so on. So whether we take the credit or she just knew about it to begin with, she understands that, hey, there's nothing wrong with Hole and Volt, but at the same time, you do want to prepare for the future for that generational wealth too. I'm so happy to see people that are from the degen crowd, if you will, wanting to learn more about these specific things. Thought that was super cool. Give her a follow at SpaceChick_crypto on YouTube. And if anything, let her know that we, I don't know, we sent you along the way. All right.
Yeah, she's cool. I like her.
Yeah, very good individual. Magic Power, Max, you do a good job. Deep dives with passion. Thank you very much. I do try to be passionate on things that I believe in. And thank you for pointing that out. Really appreciate that. That also made my day. Man, you guys really are starting to make my day now. So thank you for that. It was a crappy day. A lot of rude people, man. That's why, like the other day, I think it was me, myself, and I who was here. He was like, Max, you're overall good dude. I try to be, but, when it's hard to put on a happy face when you get treated like crap all day. I'd say that much. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Menelec says, maybe one of Rich's viewers pointed out CTN's comments about his accent. Yeah, you know what? Rich, if you're listening, I'll state this much, all right? Maybe you're listening in the background. If you are, keep saying "frother," man. Continue to be you and don't let anybody change it, because the way I look at it, you're awesome. Don't change nothing, man. That's the way I look at it. You want to say "frother"? Say "frother." You know what I mean? Start selling merch. We're gonna do, is it melon like you're looking for? Lionel Richie. That's on merch in the future, probably. You run with the whole thing of "frother," more. No one's gonna see your face, and that's okay. You don't want to dock yourself, but maybe do merch and it says "frother more." I'm cool with that. All right, Brian Dowie, Max deep dives into crypto the way Larry deep dives into Caroline. Vaseline. My God, Brian. But that's okay, Brian. I still love you, buddy. No homo. All right. This guy, and just like that, somebody take a picture of Sean. He just went red in the face. Yes. All right. Possible Menelec, but all three seems unlikely to me. All right, let's see here. River says 3,000 is his target. Selmo. Okay.
It's a good target.
JASMY movement, Magic Power. You were spot on. Okay, you're having a conversation. That's good. But I'm going to read that. You were spot on, and we feel that JASMY will release more information over the next few months that will blow our minds with more partnerships with data democracy. I want to state this, and I want to get anybody's hopes up, right? And I do agree with Richard Common Sense Crypto about this. This whole concept of like certain content creators coming out with particular lines that say, "Oh, I got an insider information from so and so or this person that's just insider." To a sense, it's like malarkey, right? I'm not gonna give into that. If anything, I unfollow that. But when you have people in our comments, some of them are from Japan. They were like, "Yeah, I was just in Osaka, drove down the street, and I saw some JASMY billboards." Guess what I'm doing? I'm not ignoring those comments. When somebody says that, I don't know if they're telling the truth or not. I hope to God that they are. I have no reason to deny that. So what I've been doing is I've been messaging them back saying literally every single time, "Hey, you know what? Can you do us a favor? This would really help the JASMY community, especially Smash and FUD. Can you take pictures? Can you take a video clip? Can you post on crypto Twitter? Can you post on the CTN network site? Send us a DM, something. Show us that. We really, really appreciate that." So I just want to point that out there. If you see that, not on just our particular network of Crypto Talk Now, if you're in some other community members, whether it's Twitter, whether it's YouTube, and you see somebody say something like that, you cannot assume that this person is just full of malarkey and they're making it up. let's say that they're right. They actually do live there. Engage with them. We're a community. Let's engage with these people, because if they see it coming from me or some other random people, they're gonna be like, you know what? Seems like there's something here. Like maybe I should take some pictures and so on. That helps smash the FUD, and it gives buyer confidence, and it makes more people aware that, you know what? Maybe there really is something there with JASMY. So my thing is, by all means, just like we should talk more about crypto and the benefits for the future, right? Not just from a crypto point of view, but like letting people know about blockchain technology, DLT, all those particular things. We should engage with other people that make these statements, in my opinion. Let's see here. Gotta go further down. I want to welcome John Francis. He says, screw Gensler. He has never was for protecting consumer. Basically, what we're trying to say.
Yeah, John. Exactly.
Yeah. Cody Core says, hey, like, you know, from Martin, you remember Shanae? Hey, Sean. Shanae up in the house. Look at your virtual background. No? You ever watch Martin back in the day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember Shanae?
Yep. I actually met Martin before.
Oh, Martin Lawrence, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Not a fan after I met him. He was me and a buddy of mine were running a club in Las Vegas called Club C2K at the Venetian.
Wow.
We ran it for 2 nights a week, and we had him as a guest in the club. He did his act, but he ended up causing about I want to say $6,500 worth of damage to the hotel room we put him in. Yeah, not a very good dude.
Oh,
And maybe he was just having an off night, but you know, after that, I was not a fan of his.
Yeah.
Back in my party days.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll have to have a conversation about some of this stuff on some other point, some other time. Magic Power says JASMY movement sounds good, but keep still working on big upgrades to IoT. Couldn't agree more. Let's see. Eddie T's in the house. Thank you for being here, Eddie T. Menelec says proof Republicans also support Gensler after crypto is lack of bills fully defunding the SEC and no bills to provide clarity to crypto, which they could pass tomorrow instead of bathroom bills. Man, that's a great statement once again. The JASMY movement. JASMY will build out their blockchain and eventually get off of Ethereum. Yes, very much so. I think you're seeing the start of a lot of these things coming together. And I think the JASMY grant program, again, this is an update that we came out with today. That is the path forward for the ecosystem. And, you know, for a FUDder who doesn't, you know, take the deep dives and do the research, they'll never get it because they never took the time to research it properly. Proper research trumps any FUD from FUDders. That's the bottom line.
100%.
Demac, welcome. Thank you for being here. Consider changing your name to maybe, you know, Craig Mack from back in the day, you know, dropping flavor in your ear. Craig Mack, brand new flavor in your ear. All right. Is FedNow working with XRP? I'll let you answer that.
So again, it's answer. Yeah. Number 3.
Nobody knows for sure.
Nobody knows for sure. I know Volante is a partner of Ripple who is on the FedNow showcase as a provider. So I'm sure they're going to be used, and they move, you know, billions and billions of dollars. Are they going to use XRP? I don't know. I don't see any direct connection to that. I've never seen it mentioned anywhere. So I'm going to say no, and hope that I'm wrong. So we'll leave it at that.
I have to, yes. Thank you for that question, Demac. And guys, let's welcome Demac. Let me highlight that. I did see that a super chat came in at some point. If I'm late on it, I'm really sorry about that. Let's see where it's at. It's from Salamander, the XDC commander in the house. Let's see what he says. Let's see here. Well, I'll read the question real quick before, because it says, Max, when JASMY makes me wealthy, I'm coming to Phoenix to buy you a steak. Thanks, man. If anything in the future, you know, some of you guys think, oh, this is a bunch of BS. He's just trying to say that because, you know, he's trying to fit a certain narrative. You know, all these guys, sometimes they just kind of BS us around. No, in reality, this is something that was talked about a while back, right? Doing like a crypto expo or something like that. So, yeah. In the future, we're talking about the future. All these things could come together. That's why I read your comment, because on top of that, that's a good segue for this from Salamander. And by the way,
Nice.
Cashcast, yes, thank you. I would totally take you up on that for steak dinner. I mean, are you kidding me? I even sent Crypto Smith this morning. Remember a picture of a T-bone steak that I had for steak and eggs?
Exactly.
Anyway, and it did look pretty nice and juicy.
Way better than my breakfast.
Well, anyway. In reality, it was just it was a super pack. You know what I mean? Like, it couldn't pass up on it. $3.77 a pound at the local food city. Anyway, so they, you know what they call a food city down here? They call it Mexico City. But anyway, that's all right. Max, I have you on my XDC inheritance, brother. Wow, really? Well, thank you. I wasn't expecting that, but thank you so much for the $7 super chat. Salamander in space, aka Salamander, the XDC commander. Thank you, guys. All right. I'm going to see where we left off before. I know we're approaching that 2-hour mark, Sean. Do we make it? I don't know. We're going to try our best. I might not be able to get into all the comments. I'll just try to get into some of the key ones. Give me a second. Scrolling way up. You hear my mouse wheel going? That means there's a lot of good problems, guys.
Scrolling.
Yes. Keep on scrolling. Rawhide. No, not really. All right. So, let's see here. I'm going to see some key ones. JASMY IoT is a huge part of the plan. Kev Cleveland's checking in again. Thank you for that. Welcome back, Kev Cleveland. Selma Fudd, also welcome back. I give it to 2026 before XRP will take off. Selma's always very conservative with his estimates, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Selma Fudd, for being here. Your ongoing support.
Yeah, can't fault him for that, but hopefully he's wrong. Hopefully it's sooner. We don't have to keep waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, once that, so let's go. Once the lawsuit ends, or at least this portion, right? So we know this portion is going to end, and it'll probably continue on. You know, a portion of the lawsuit will continue into trial or wherever. And they say, and the judge declares XRP a commodity or not a security. Where does the price go? Like how high, how fast? Right? People always ask me that. Right? Which of course I have no clue. My guess is it's going to go past all-time high. Because I mean, a retail investor, once they hear that, they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, so I've been waiting for this." You know, now they're going to jump in. Now the banking world, right? And if they've been wanting to get in the U.S. And around the world, because obviously there are some financial institutions out there that do watch what goes on in the U.S. and they are waiting to see what happens with it. That's their cue that they can start getting in. So it could go big very quickly, or it could take weeks or months to really just ramp up. But I'm going to say, I'm just going to be conservative and say $5 fairly quickly. So that's just past all-time highs. And then, these numbers about $100, $1,000, I mean, that's going to take utility to get those numbers. So
that's going to take some black rocks.
Yeah. $5 to $10 is my official prediction. Yeah.
But that's what excites a lot of us, right? We get that regulatory clarity, the black rocks, so the world comes in. And in my opinion, it's just like, oh my goodness. So, yeah, but thank you for that statement, Mr. Selmo Flood. I'm going to read this one, and I'm going to try rapid fire. So how about this, Sean? Can you do 10 minutes more? Can we have 10 minutes more?
Or I'll give you 9 minutes and 38 seconds.
Wow, my God. All right. All right. Menelike says, cashing out XRP, an asset that will appreciate forever, is not wish unless the alternative asset you purchase with XRP money has an even higher risk.
Yeah, but think about this. Think about XRP sitting at
risk on investment. Sorry.
All of a sudden, it's at $25, right? For whatever reason. What percentage of people who hold XRP now are going to be getting out and selling off? A lot, right? A lot of people, because that's life-changing money. If you hold a decent amount, I mean, for me, that's a ridiculous amount of money. I'm going to say, so I know they were talking about the top 10%. I think 3,300 puts you in the top 10% of holders. I believe I sit in the top 2%. So that's going to be, a pretty good.
Aha! Now I have an idea.
Pretty good sizable. Pretty good sizable VIP. How much do you have? I've been accumulating for a while. So
no, I like the Tim Shea approach of that. It's like, it's not about, how much you have or who or whatever. It's that you actually took the research and
and there's so many different factors, right? It doesn't really matter. What's good for me is maybe not be good for somebody else. I may have more expensive tastes, right? You may not need as much as I'm holding. But I'm going to sell along the way. I'm not going to hold all of it, right? Because for me, that just wouldn't make sense, right?
You're not a true diamond hander.
Well, exactly. I'm not a diamond hander.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So there you go. So make sure you take your profits.
Yeah.
That is financial advice.
Yeah.
Take your profit.
Some of us says he's going to dominate hand his XRP only because I hold a lot of it. Yeah, you hold a lot of other stuff too, like SHIB. I mean, you got me beat like 3 times over on my SHIB, but unless you got more SHIB I don't know about. But yeah, thank you for those comments. Somo Fudd, always appreciate your intellect, even though Mentellect is here with other great intellect. Anyway, GG, don't think many people realize that when they sell their digital assets and cash out to USD or any fiat, haven't understood that they are going to the new system from the old system, basically. I kind of reworded that. They are betting on the new system, but racing to get back to the old system. I'm like, huh? Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive, right?
You have to be prepared for all different outcomes, right? Because we don't really know what at the end of the day what it's going to look like. So it's okay to have some cash. I can also turn mine into gold and silver, right? I can also turn it into whatever property, real estate. I can turn it into whatever I think that's going to get me down the road and really more for my children. What is going to get them. But you don't sell it all. I do agree with that. I'm not selling it all.
Yeah, good point. All right, I'm gonna go further down. I want to welcome DCR135. Welcome back. I always recognize your avatar because of the knives. If we are fortunate enough to profit, it will be wise to put some of that into real assets. Welcome back. Ronnie Kersey, welcome back. Glad to have you here back again. Hey, what's up, people? Hope everyone doing good. Of course, I love Quant and want more also thoughts on Sandbox. I hold a bag of Sandbox. And do we think people are getting too bullish long term? I still think but second half of the year. I think, here's the thing. You want a quant answer. It's not financial advice. This is how I personally feel about it. So we're paying so much close attention to JASMY, for like June, July with the unbanning of the stable coins, right? A whole wave of people coming in. The whole thing with the taxes in regards to that. There's some things leading up into the summer where quant really stands out, right? The CBDC connections and so on, right? So my key thing is not so much as just second half of the year. That is going to get us some of the momentum. Key times, it's not buy the rumor, sell the news. Just again, unless there's some delay, look out for quant more of, let's face it, second to third quarter of this particular year. I'm gonna get into some more comments. I'm just gonna kind of see if there's any specific questions. There is. What happens when you have cashed out? What happens when you have cashed out but no one is accepting fiat? I think I already read this one. Did I not? I think so. I think that's a reiteration, right?
Yeah, it's a similar question. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Let me go further down. Just trying to see if there's any specific ones. McDizzle's in the house. I'll read this. So the USA, because I didn't see you before, McDizzle. The USA can't crack down on anyone anymore thanks to Joe Biden. We have lost reserves. Even the European Union is after us for profiting from war. Biden crashed the planet. That's a good perspective. I got to admit on that. GG says, okay, you're having a conversation with Tim Shea. Let me go further down. Cool Cat Crypto, welcome. Glad to have you here. I don't know if you're still here, but welcome. Salamander says 12 million men that can work are not working in the USA. All right, let's see here. Edward Venison, welcome. Max, evening Max. And I think that's supposed to say Sean, but it's a typo. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. I thought you were going to go with, Rich Common Sense Crypto. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So hopefully everyone's doing great in this great, great world. I'm going to start with this.
No problem.
He always does that. I'm going to start with this. Good guy. All right. Seriously, guys, if you're not following Rich Common Sense Crypto and you pay attention to all this stuff of the ISOs, I don't know what you're doing. You need to follow Rich Common Sense Crypto. Just type in Common Sense Crypto. All right, let's go further down. I love when Salamander does this. Like on our screen on StreamYard, it comes across as like, what the heck is that? but it tells me on the other screen that it's a bunch of emojis trying to get the algorithm going on. He always does this, and nobody has to tell him to do this. Kind of like Tim Shea. Nobody has to tell Tim Shea to pull up your particular YouTube, channel. He just does it. But yeah, and even Edward does it. So I appreciate that. Kushu Boy says, I'm never working again, God willing. Yeah. I mean, that's the way it should be for most of us. I mean, if we're spending the put in the hard work, researching things, just because you're not a content creator, you guys, you know who you are, whether it's Coochie Boy, whether it's Tim Shea, whether it's Edward Vincent, whether it's Sean right here, you name it, right? Why are you guys here all the time? It's not just because you like a crypto show. It's because you're excited about the future and you understand you probably worked your butt off at whether you might be fortunate in which you worked yourself to a retirement age, wherever the case be. But you know that there is something has to be better out there for your near future, or maybe you're doing it for your kids, or maybe you're doing it for your grandchildren, or their, kids as kids, and you name it. You want to leave a great legacy behind, whatever the case be. Notice the key common factor here. We're all here continuously, and we're excited about the future. No matter how much FUD of the mainstream media tries to run down crypto and spin it as though it's a scam and all this crap, like, I hate to say, Elizabeth Warren's basically doing. GS says, Triple C, dude, that mod in Ronnie's stream, ISOs are trash. XDC is a scam. Saw you replaying to his. Ooh, I didn't know about that stuff. Yeah, because I didn't even know he did that. That's not good.
That's somebody who's invested in Saitama.
Oh boy, yeah. Brian Alley, the 90s were awesome. Yes, I agree.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, you think about the last times of the good old days.
Me, 80s and 90s. 80s was a great period.
Yeah, for me it was Well, I was a little kid in the 80s, but I have distinct memories of the 80s, and then the 90s. So 90s, like teenage years, obviously late teenage years and so on. I'm class of 99. So, all right. GG says, been thinking of jumping on the JASMY train. I'm going to do about 3 more minutes. I'll read this from Boomer F and Sooner. He says, I've been working for the government for 23 years, so I haven't worked in 23 years. That's horrible. You clean out your rain gutters. Okay. All right. Let's see here. We saw somebody gifted somebody. Tell Edward Vincent, Patrick Collier, you rock. You do rock, Patrick. Thank you, man.
Way to go, Patrick.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. You do all the work, so I thank you. Yeah, Edward Vincent, he's been here for a long time, so I'm happy to see that. Congrats, Edward Vincent. Give Edward Vincent a follow, guys, over at Top Shelf Crypto. And by the way, Edward, I informed one of our crew guys who runs their site to adjust the link. He hasn't got back to me yet, but I'm sure he will by tonight or tomorrow. We're going to update your link from the YouTube, like you said, to the Rumble. So I did message him on that, and I'll let you know when that's updated. River says, I'm surprised you don't have Casper, Max, but your play is no, I do have Casper. I do have Casper, my friend. And just to double check how much of it I have, I don't really need to share this, but sometimes I don't really care. I mean, I don't have a lot, but I do have a bag. Let me see how much I got on that particular one. I do have Casper, man. That was one of the ones I got like maybe a couple months ago. All right. So I'm down $35 on it. I have, let me see here. I purchased it on March 3rd. Yeah. I'm about, what is it, $35 down. But I do have a bag of Casper. I mean, it ain't like, thousands of dollars of Casper, but I have a pretty decent sized bag of Casper that I'm comfortable with. I'm holding out for long term. So for the record, River, yes, I do have it. Ones I talk about a lot, like Casper, do videos for it. Like, that's my thing. I want to be able to own what we cover. I know some ones that we cover that I don't own yet, but yeah, I do have that. All right, let's go further down. I think we're at the 1 minute mark. Oh my God, I gotta hurry up. All right, let's see here. You've been sleeping behind the couch. Oh, geez. Let's go further down. April Cornwell, she says, hey, hope everyone had a beautiful day. It was 84. Welcome, April.
Damn, that's warm.
All right, let's see here. Just gonna get into a few more. Brian, did you see your post about your stake? Maybe we'll just pull that up. We'll go over like maybe a tad bit over crypto semester. I'm sorry, maybe like a couple minutes. I just want to show a stake real quick. Jesse Thomas said, "What happened to Cypherium? Did it fall through with the Fed coin?" We talked about that earlier. You're more than welcome to rewind. All right, let's see. Just a few more. Tim Max, bring this on himself. Vaseline. Oh, jeez. It was more like I was making a joke about what's his name? Dave Chappelle, where he's just like, remember on the Chappelle show, he's like, F your couch. Mr. Crypto Smith, buy another one, you witch blinky.
Wayneside, SoCal in the house right there.
Yeah. All right, so Wayneside, welcome. He says, crew, what's up, sir? What's up? Yeah, welcome, Wayneside. Thank you for being here. I think we're very, very close. Max, kiss, no homo. Thank you again for the super chat from Salamander. Shay, my baby. I think somebody's having a good time. All right, we're almost towards the bottom, I think. I want to welcome Boya Bomb, JASMY for the future. Guys, let's welcome Boya. Consider change your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about. I'll read this from Boomer F and Sooner. He says, $2 super chat. It's the Beaver Max. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. No, I'm thinking about the other Beaver. That's bad. All right.
Stop thinking about that Beaver.
Yeah, I got to stop that. Stop that. That DGen talk. All right.
So is that Jerry Mathers? Is that who that is?
Yes, that's the real,
Gotcha.
from Leave It to Beaver. He's
Right.
now older. Yeah, that's cool. I forgot about that, man. Awesome. Thank you for that, Boomer. And thanks for the $2 super chat, man. Max, what is the coins you see as winners from the CBDC adoption? I think we talked about a little bit about this earlier. I don't know. I'm gonna have to really think about that a little bit more, right? I want to say quant for the future because of everything that connected as far as like as Sean would say the plumbing, if you will.
Yeah.
But there's obviously other players. And of course some people are gonna say, Cypherium,
and that might still be a possibility.
Yeah.
We don't know. XRP, XLM, Cypherium possibly.
Right.
Quant definitely.
That's why I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out Cypherium just for that reason. So
BSV. I did see some stuff on BSV, so who knows?
Okay, yeah, and I got a small handful of that. I want to welcome Wes. Thanks for being here, Wes. Man, he was like, "What's up, dudes? Keep the info coming." Yes, thank you, Wes. Always appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. Actually, like the shirt. It kind of reminds me of like a Miami style type of shirt. Very cool looking shirt, man. Cool Cat says never sell your XRP. If anything, like Lulu was mentioning, earn interest off it at some point. Love me some quants as cash. All right, just a few more, and then we're going to end this here in just a bit. I am going to highlight and welcome Brittany. I think we just have a lot of comments, right? Eva isn't here. Max, behave. We need Eva. Yeah, that would be amazing if she was here. All right, so let's see here. All right, so in closing,
I'm going to answer Salamander's question real quick.
Oh, where's his question?
You passed him up. He was asking about if the SEC really wanted to settle.
Oh, go for it, man.
And maybe Ripple doesn't want to settle.
Give me a chance to bring up Brian's stake.
So they, the XRP has no interest in settling. The SEC, I'm sorry. The SEC has no interest in settling. They want to drag this case out for as long as possible and make it as painful as possible on Ripple. So Brad Garlinghouse said early in this lawsuit, when asked about if he would be willing to settle, if that was an offer, and he said there's only one stipulation to settlement, and that is that XRP is not a security. That was it. They're willing to pay the huge fines. They're willing to maybe say, the initial sales might have been, of some sort of securities violation, but as long as XRP on today's market and secondary market is not constituted security, they would do that. But the SEC has no interest in settling.
Guys, stop picking on Boomer. If he wants to drop super chats to point out the beaver, it's okay. I'm cool with that. All right. You guys are bad. All right. All right, here it is, guys. In closing, and I know Crypto Smith, we went a little over. I tried my best.
No, so that is a lot of good back and forth in the comments. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's always good.
So, guys, look at this. Look at Brian Dowie's ribeyes, man. Those are some nice looking ribeyes.
Those do look good. Damn. Making me hungry. I got to say, Boomer, I'm reading Boomer's comment, said he was 9 and 79. So we must be the same age.
And here it is. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Well, I was born in 81, so, you know.
Just a youngin'. Yeah.
My birthday's roughly about a month and a half away. But anyway.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So look, that's all cut up. And thank God, Brian, thank you that you don't do, you know, meat blasphemy, which is, you know, cooking it well done, right? Freaking.
Wait, is this the Impossible Steak?
What do you mean it's Impossible Steak?
The Impossible Steak, right? They got the Impossible Burgers. Right? Is this real
it's
meat?
fake? No,
that's
that's real.
fake
That's
meat?
got to be real. Come on. Look at the crowd we have here. You think they're giving to that vegan stuff? Come on.
Oh, I see lots of vegans out there. I see a lot of fat vegans for some reason, and it drives me nuts.
Like Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yeah. Little
I don't
chubby,
get that.
pudgy.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm fat, but at least it's because I ate some steak or something, not because I ate a bunch of freaking vegetables. Like, what's up with that? You know what I mean?
Get that out of my face.
Yeah.
Give me my meat.
Give me my duck sauce, or what you guys say. But that's it. Look at that. Just one more time. Look at those beauties. Look at those beauties.
Nice.
Throw a little beef on the barbie.
Wayne Side, you're 59. SoCal is 59. Damn.
Damn.
That's good though. 59, born in 59, or you're 59 years old. 1959. Okay, gotcha.
You know what? It's cool stuff. You know, if you were 59 or you're born in 59, here's the key thing, right? So in my gaming community, there's this guy. His name is Zach Bass. He joined up back in, oh man, I think it was like 2013, 2014. Listen to this. This guy was 69 years old then. So I think it was 2013. So I haven't heard from him in the longest time. So he was 69. Yeah, he would be basically like 79, 80 years old right now. Crazy stuff. So it's cool to see people like that.
Yeah, I like to see, somebody older than me, because usually I'm the older one in the group, especially in these, crypto groups. Most people are young, and I get it. I understand. And then a lot of people like me are, they're busy in their careers and raising kids and getting kids off to college and stuff. So it's totally understandable, but it's always good to see others, aged individuals out there who are into crypto, right? It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Brian Dowie says in closing, bang, bang. That ish was awesome. Nice. Very cool stuff. Boomer says, dang, man, I got 5 grandkids. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm kidding. I got bronchitis.
God, I need some time, man. My kids just, they're in college now. So hopefully I got a few more years without grandkids running around.
So you know how Menelek was mentioning before, us being like, I guess, like a form of a media outlet, right? So the benefits of being independent media, right, for crypto is I could say, I've got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I could say that without getting fired by people that are going to consider that being racist for some stupid reason.
Racist or culturally inappropriate or whatever. Yeah, people say
please on both sides of the family. I'm literally like every race in the world, for crying out loud. My 2 cousins, Damien Olu, their grandfather, God rest his soul, got to meet him a couple times on Thanksgiving. A former Tuskegee Airman. Yeah.
Wow.
Tuskegee Airman. Yeah. Highest regard for yes. Yeah, some of the stories. Are you kidding? Having Thanksgiving dinner with somebody like that? Yeah, you better believe I talked his ear off. Why? Because I'm that's my thing. World War II history. Always have been. All right. Buddha was vegan and he was a big dude.
Yeah.
That's
yes.
What the heck?
Big belly.
Thank you for that, Selma. All right. You're saying class of 95, baby. 99 in the house. Wayne size 63 years old. Hurry up. Wow. You guys rock, man. Don't matter how old you are. The thing is, you are paying attention what's going on. Boomer Alpha sooner. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. So with that said, thank you so much for being here, you guys. Really appreciate it. Let's give a plug real quick for Sean, the Crypto Smith, his particular site. I'm going to show you guys just real quick in closing.
Okay. Well, you pull that up. I'm going to say
Yeah.
I did mention Tacit in a previous stream, and I know somebody had a comment about that earlier, and maybe I think we rolled past it.
Oh, well, sorry.
So Tacit is a company, and they use Tacit Pay, which in order to move money, they've been doing it for a long time. They got blockchain. They're the ones with the blockchain with no token. I'm going to be doing a video on that to kind of explain, that situation, how that works, because people are trying to compare them, like, oh, they're going to do what XRP does, and kind of take XRP down. Then for some reason, everybody has to be an XRP killer, right? And instead, there's going to be plenty of money to move in the space that not one company is going to do it all. So I'm going to do a video on that. So look forward to that this week. And what else? There was another, Caspa. So I'm gonna do a little video on Caspa because I don't know a lot about it. I hear a lot about it, so that intrigues me. Obviously,
that's cool.
It's got
We did
got some
intro
movement,
on it.
so
Yeah, sounds good. We did an intro, and if anything, you do deep dive. That'd be very, very cool. Check them out on regards to Caspa. Caspa, guys, one of the most impressive charts, if not the most impressive chart for crypto, dating back to crypto 2022 bear market winter, where you want to call it. But yeah, guys, here's this particular page or channel. It's the Crypto Smith, the space Crypto Smith. And any heads up about your live show that you did on last Saturday, or maybe this coming up?
Yeah, live show was okay. I don't get a ton of people on the live show, and you know what, I probably should firm up the content that I'm going to do, but I'd really just like to go and just talk about whatever, and bring some people on. And we talked about MMI, and I wanted to talk about the end of the dollar, but we didn't really get into that. So a lot of XRP chat as well. So if you like that kind of stuff, come hang out on Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
All right, cool stuff. So other than that, in closing, I guess I'll just give you the last word.
Yeah, appreciate you, Max. It's always a good time here. Your community is very strong, very vocal, which is cool, right? Get behind in the chat a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's why you're here. I want to say hi to Chaka, who just stepped in. Chaka's another good dude. Go check out his channel, Chaka Crypto.
Absolutely. Go check out Chaka. Where's he at in the comments? Sorry, I didn't see Chaka. I'm going to do my best to be there on Wednesday. Guys, seriously, if you want to go down memory lane, let's just take a moment for everybody who's here, 43 of us, right? Wonderful, beautiful people, as Larry would say. I invite you right now. In fact, I guess I'll just say I will be there, okay? He has a very well put together stream that he does for going down memory lane, if you will. If you're a kid of the 80s, and so on, you need to come to the stream. It's fun. And he has the videos. You know how we do the clips, all these particular ones we talk about, doing the news, right, and so on, or updates. He has a whole research lineup, if you will, to make it just flow well. He's got his background's got old cassette tapes, and I mean, shoot, man, are you kidding me? Not that I had one. I never wanted one. I was kind of annoyed with the Teddy Ruxpin, but yeah, I mean, you're talking about Teddy Ruxpin and 8-bit NES and all this stuff. So it was a real awesome blast to memory lane, the arcades. I want to trade those memories for anything, man. So if you want to be part of that and go back, to memory lane, join us on Wednesday, and I believe it's at noon Pacific, so that's 3 Eastern. So 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Chaka Crypto. Give them a follow, and you will not be disappointed. I went there last time. I said this was the most enjoyable streams, and it was like an hour and a half. It just flew by like nothing. And as the saying goes, when you're having fun, what happens? Time flies by like nothing.
Yep.
So
exactly.
All right. I really appreciate you guys. We're going to say good night and good luck, as the saying goes. But in reality, not good luck, night and good luck. We'll see you back here tomorrow. I got to make this announcement real quick with very special guest, Tokenizer. Yes, very big standout name for quant research. Obviously, NXRA. I think he's going to give us maybe a little bit of a Morpheus network, right? I'm going to learn some more about Morpheus network. You're not going to want to miss it. Special guest, Tokenizer. Again, if you've done your quant research and NXRA and so on, he's definitely one of the standout guys I'm really, really glad and honored to have him on the show tomorrow. So same Batman time, same Batman channel. And with that said, everybody, over and out. Have a great night. Smash that like on your way out.
All
Take
right.
it easy.
See you guys next time.